Okay, well, we're live again. I already read the intro before, so let's get this show rolling. So we will wait till we hit 200 viewers, and then we'll start the main show. Just one person let me know if the audio's fixed, and we can begin. And I'm waiting. Okay, so is it better? Okay, that's it. All right, so we're going to wait till we get to 200 viewers, and then we'll start. So we hit 70,000 over the weekend, which was exciting. I was actually watching SummerSlam partially drunk, and we hit 70,000, and that was really about it. The guys that were in the room weren't excited because they don't care about the YouTube channel, but now the guys from the podcast were pumped. So that's what matters. And I want to thank everyone who's gone out of their way to congratulate us and tell us how they're proud of us and how they've been with us for a long time. I want to go out of my way to thank all of you that have helped us get to that number and who's been with us since the beginning. I know a couple people's names have been there since we had 1,000 subscribers. And I know it was rough back in the day, and it was hard to, get through some of the other people's jokes, and, the format of the show has changed so much. But now that it has, it's a lot better, and it's a real thing. It's a real show, and we get to travel across the country and do cool stuff. So thank you to everyone who helped us hit 70K. I'm looking forward to 100,000 by the end of the year. There's something going on with Google where all of a sudden it's like we're being slingshotted again. We had a really slow month in August, but now we're up like 1,000 subscribers in just a few short days. So thank you to everyone who is new and has joined. Let's see. GrindleFan84, thank you very much. Morning from Drew at Comics Elite. Just shot you an email regarding Horror Hound this weekend. If you need anything, let me know. GrindleFan, I am going to need something from you at Horror Hound. Not an actual comic book, but I'm going to need some help/advice. So make sure that when you get the chance, stop by our table. Or you know what I'll do? I'll just respond to the email and then bring it up to you again in person. But it's something big, and I need your help. You're my only hope. So thank you. Thank you to everybody who's telling me congratulations on 70K. Like I said, it means a lot to me. I know the community's grown 7 times since the year started. We hit 10,000 on December 27th. Only reason I remember that is because it was such a round number. It seemed like it took us forever to get to 10,000. We were at 15,000 by middle of January, and we haven't looked back. We haven't gone down any significant numbers. So thank you to everyone. Pay-per-view watch party someday. That could happen down the road for sure. It'll be it would have to be like a really shitty pay-per-view because I go to WrestleMania every year, and I can't really live stream that. Jeremy tried to get me over 70K yesterday. Well, Jeremy, thank you very much. Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers and Ethan Van Sciver are very good friends to have. And speaking of friends to have, our friend the Rookie Critic put out a video called High Council Appreciation, and you guys should go out and watch it. I posted it in the community tab. It's an incredibly well-made video. It's a lot of fun. It's a nice way to figure out who the High Council is and what we're about, what we do each week. Yeah, Leip, you got to get brewing on our 100K brew. We'll have to drink the 50K brew at Horror Hound this weekend and test it out. By the way, folks, we're going to be doing our 70,000 subscriber special live from Horror Hound. So we'll be on camera, and you can ask us questions and stuff like that. Instead of me making a video just telling you thank you or crying, I never thought I'd be reached and touched and all this other bullshit. The 4 of us will get together. 5 of us. Brian Leip will be there. And we're going to tell you thanks a lot for everything. So thank you to everyone who came back. Overall, I thought SummerSlam was AJ Styles is a great wrestler, though, so we're only 20 viewers away. Even with the audio mishaps, we're going to get there. We're going to start with that Star Wars Resistance trailer number because, like I said in the garbled transmission from Subspace, or I should say Substandard Space, the numbers are bad from Star Wars Resistance. I know people are going to say, well, it's a kid's show, like I said in the solid video. It's on at 10 p.m. at night. But it's Disney Channel. What if they didn't have another time slot? Like you just said, it's Disney Channel. They can do whatever they want. They own the shows. Oh, we need to move Zach and Cody reruns from 6 to 10. So be it. Star Wars Resistance. I heard a really interesting theory that, we'll start talking about right now, and you can tell me what you think. I heard an interesting theory / rumor that this is the last remnants of the Kathleen Kennedy era, and that's why it's being put at 10 o'clock, so it can essentially be buried and die and be forgotten about. No one really cares about this show at Lucasfilm, so they want to just brush it aside and move to the next era of Dave Filoni-led Star Wars. Now, it seems hopeful, but we don't know yet. Let's see. Inge Farman says, you said my name wrong when I joined Patreon. UT is spelled Ingen Farman, but pronounced Throat Wobbler Mangrove. Men. Well, thank you very much for joining our Patreon, Throat Wobbler Mangrove. And thank you for correcting me. They don't have a demographic anymore. That is damn true. They don't know what they're doing. So we're past 200. Let's get this up on screen. So, folks, let's look at the Star Wars Resistance numbers. So as of right now, we're looking at 929,556 views. And the thumbs up to thumbs down ratio, 9,105 like it, 46,187 dislike it. That's like a difference of 11,000 views from yesterday when I, did that video. And why does this want to zoom in everything? I tried to zoom in the view count to show you guys what has changed, but for some reason, it just wants to show everything from Google zoomed in. So we're going to have to look at it like that. Sorry. So right now in the chat, let me know what you guys thought of it. I thought it was it looks cheap. I don't like the idea of a cheap-looking Star Wars series. Star Wars has always kind of held itself to be the gold standard. It was the biggest property that wasn't owned by a major studio. Lucasfilm, we may have thought it to be this thing, but it was a lot smaller than Fox and Sony and Disney and all that stuff. Even with the prequels, it was made by a smaller group of people, and they, with Lucas and the right marketing team and stuff, Star Wars was, head and shoulders above everything else. I can't even say that it's like everything else. It just is worse than everything else. It's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of embarrassing. Poe looks emasculated. Poe is emasculated. I'm waiting for Admiral Holdo. That'll be the series finale. Admiral Holdo appears. Oh my god. The climax of Star Wars Resistance. Admiral Holdo. They'll write some bullshit backstory about how they're friends. It looks cheap and pathetic and filmed on Earth. Yeah, it looks like it just takes place on an oil rig. Michael Rodriguez, thank you very much for a super chat. How long do you think until we get a post-Return of the Jedi cartoon show? Well, I don't know how long it'll be. I know we'll get that Jon Favreau show. I say, if you want me to be completely honest, which you always do, at least into the 2020s. Because they're dusting off the Clone Wars, which has already previously done stuff. And then when they're rushing other stuff to air on television, it looks cheap and fans resist. So if they do a post-Return of the Jedi cartoon, they'll probably try to make it a traditionally animated style and make it look realistic to a degree. Kind of like how G.I. Joe had realistic proportions and stuff. I'm not saying G.I. Joe looked great, but they had realistic proportions on the figures. Do something like that. We'll say 2022 at the earliest. So what is that, 4 years from now? Because they're going to have to test the waters with the Jon Favreau TV show. If people want the post-Return of the Jedi Star Wars live-action series on the, I want to call it the network, the streaming service, well, then they'll probably expand upon that. So if they can create a character kind of like how they created Dash Rendar with Shadows of the Empire, they can do stuff built around him. I mean, there was Dash Rendar figures. He was in video games, books, stuff like that. So they need to create somebody like that and maybe make him a live-action version and an animated version, and then do, an animated toy and a live-action toy and all this stuff. It's really easy to get fans to like what you're putting out, except you have a bunch of unlikable dicks that run Lucasfilm. So 2022 is my ultimate guess. Thank you very much, Michael. Billy Ritchie, thank you very much. Hell, that Rooster Teeth show, RWBY animation is better than this, and that's on a smaller budget. I only know Rooster Teeth from Red versus Blue like a decade and a half ago, right? That was 15 years. Like I was telling other people, my 15-year anniversary from grade school was the other day. I can't believe the last 15 years have gone by. But yeah, Rooster Teeth and Red versus Blues, that's super old. That's like Homestar Runner era. But that's, I think, why people also criticize this Star Wars show, because there are other things. As technology has gotten better, it's easier and easier to produce professional content. That's why you have to up your game as a massive studio. You know, you need to produce something that you can't get anywhere else. You have the license for Star Wars. We'll make it something impactful. I mean, I'm expecting the next series, if Kathleen Kennedy sticks around, to be, you know, flash animation with stick people where they fight and somebody just goes pew pew, and that's the lightsaber sound effects. They can't even afford the real budget for the sound library that they already own. They can't get an audio editor. They just go pew pew like that, and that's your show. And it'll get the most ironic thumbs up in the history of YouTube. Michael Rodriguez, thank you very much again. Here's to the year of the quads, 2222. Check them. Every time somebody says about the quads, I think of Triple H and when he tore his quad on live TV. But that's a wrestling reference most people aren't going to get. RWBY is pretty big. Well, probably is. Warhammer's pretty big. I've never seen or heard any of this stuff from it, so I need to expand and check it out. Let's see. I thought it was supposed to be an anime. It doesn't look like an anime. I wouldn't knock anime that much. Well, obviously there are different styles of anime, but this just looks like I said, the show Reboot in my video, my single daily video. Reboot, and I don't know, but Reboot's a 25-year-old show or a 23-year-old show. What Star Wars excuse? Reboot was ahead of its time. Max Steel has more detail and definition than this, and that came out in the year 2000. Luke Skylander. This does look like some Skylander shit. Maybe Spyro the Dragon will be the villain in the final episode. I'm thinking that this show's going to last one season of 13 episodes, and they'll try. You know what they might do is they might put out a few of these episodes, and they'll say it didn't really work, and then they'll bury it on the streaming service to try to sweeten the deal. It's like, hey, you can't get the original 6 Star Wars films, but you can get Star Wars Resistance. And like 4 people be like, yay, I gotta find out what happened to Poe Dameron between Star Wars Resistance and Star Wars Episode 7. You know, that'll put butts in seats. It looks like the Tron cartoon. I haven't seen the Tron cartoon. I know of it. I've seen like clips of it, but I've never watched it. I liked Tron Legacy. I know I'm in the minority, but I thought that movie looked awesome, and it was so fun to see in IMAX. Was it IMAX 3D was what I saw in back in the day. It was just a nice visual and audio experience. It didn't have the greatest story, and the CGI almost said Jeff Daniels. That'd be an interesting movie, a CGI Jeff Daniels. That's our World Class Bullshitters Part 3 movie, where we hire CGI Jeff Daniels to remake Dumb and Dumber. But no, we take Tron was a lot of fun to look at, so maybe the cartoon is worth a look at for me. Looks like, let's see. Tonight, please let EVS know that there is a soda that is butter flavored. I can do that. It's not a problem. There's all kinds of weird butter flavored things. Maybe I should get EVS a butter basket, and it'll be like all these different things that are butter flavored. Star Wars Beast Wars. Holy shit. That's true. It does look like Beast Wars, except Beast Wars had action and drama and excitement. One thing I'll say about this trailer before I rip into it too hard is it looks like it's a reel from one episode, which is kind of stupid. This is the kind of shit cartoons would do for their intros. Like, I used to watch James Bond Jr. a lot as a kid, and a lot of the clips from the intro to the show came from episode 2. But episode 2 had tons and tons of actions where they go to France and there's a hoverboat chase and all kinds of stuff. This looks just like it's the same crap, and they just took incidental dialogue scenes and wide-eyed, protagonist. Hey guys, look at me, I'm gonna be the hero one day. So it does look like doo-doo butter. So do you guys have anything else you'd like to say about the Resistance trailer? I covered a lot of it in the video yesterday, so you guys should definitely go check that out. I'll be producing more of those. I have a whole list of ones I want to do. So be on the lookout for those, because I know it makes a lot of people happy. Did they disable the comments for the channel yet? No, the comments are here. Let's see what some of these people have to say about that. So the top comments from Snarky Scotsman. With Clone Wars coming back, what's even the point? Very true. What is the point? You got people excited for the Clone Wars. The Clone Wars trailer had like 6 million views. This has under 1 million. Now, I know different times. This is 3 days, going on 4, and that's what, a month since Comic-Con? So, yes, I can understand that difference, but with the Clone Wars coming back, what is the point? Clone Wars is the last loved thing from Star Wars. They kind of made a mistake by doing this. If they wouldn't have put this out and you went to Clone Wars and not this, you would have been focused on the old stuff. But it's like, hey, Clone Wars is coming back, guys, and here's Star Wars Resistance. And then you go, oh, yeah, I remember there's bad Star Wars. And then you just kind of are soured on the whole thing. I already read some of these comments. 36,000 of these people have good sense. Another 8,000, well, fair enough. You think it looks good. Wished upon a vlog said that, and now it's 46,000. Jesus, and that was just 8 hours ago. This is like a mundane Matt video. People are just disliking it to dislike it. Nautical says, how long before this trailer and comment section are disabled? This trailer looks like the blandest thing since the original graham cracker. Boba Fett says, it's sad that we live in a timeline where Star Wars 13 was canceled, but this was made. Yeah. What? Bad... like I said, there needs to be the case study written about this. Bad business decisions, a Star Wars story. Ugh. The new trailer looks like the Saltina shows. Yeah, I agree with that sentiment. It's just bland and flavorless. And there's just a little bit of salt on it. It's like, you know, if this trailer would have come out earlier in the summer and Kathleen Kennedy and Rian Johnson had, you know, their big balls, they would have been like, oh, this is a show for real children, not man babies. And they would have tried to throw salt and shade our way every step of the way. But somebody in power is telling them to keep their damn mouth shut because they've overstepped their welcome and they've hurt the Star Wars brand. Social media is a powerful tool that can go either way. And they've chosen to use it for evil. And now they're going to lose at the box office. They're going to lose in the marketplace. Star Wars is just going to lose. I don't know who the frustrated Francisco is. I know who the quartering is. Jeremy's been on the channel before. Maybe Star Wars will get a behind-the-scenes documentary like Apocalypse Now. The thing is, they'll never admit any of the problems. I mean, the writing's on the wall. We see it. We talk about it, and thousands of people come to check it out. But no, it would be nice if the next CEO or the president of Lucasfilm is like, we're going to put out a documentary, and they're basically going to pull there's a documentary called The Self-Destruction of the Ultimate Warrior, where the WWE kind of just ripped on the Ultimate Warrior for 90 minutes. It would be nice if Disney put out a thing like that about Kathleen Kennedy and sold it. I think it'd make a lot of money. I mean, maybe they can recoup some of the money she's lost through her boneheaded decisions. It's just like, hey, you know what we're going to do? We're going to put this out there. We're going to make her look silly. Then they can have like a counterpiece where people like John Campea try to defend it. I meant Angry Joe. It's a popular meme, a variation of his name. Oh. I don't know much about internet drama. I don't really follow it. I followed the Mundane Matt situation because we were, you know, involved with it slightly. But other than that, I haven't really followed too much. David Cook, thank you for your super chat. I would like to see Star Wars through the eyes of an actual Japanese animation producer and animators like the TIE Fighter animation fan film. I loved that thing. We watched that with Army Vet Rod over the Star Wars fan film live stream, and that was incredible. I had seen clips. I didn't know, like little 3-second things and screenshots, and I didn't know exactly what it was until I watched it with him. There's just no excuse. Like I said a moment ago, with technology the way it is today and a relatively small budget, you can produce an infinite amount of things. I mean, look at these fan films with the lightsabers and the effects that they use. They look just as good as the real movie effects, actually better, because they fucked up in The Last Jedi and they just disappeared that arm of the trooper. So they hid behind a brand. They hid behind a brand hardcore, and they tried to brush all the criticism under the rug, but it's too late. The rug has that big weird lump in it, and when you step on it, poof, all the dirt goes everywhere. You need to watch. Fire X says you need to watch Medicare's videos on Channel Awesome. Oh, I watched those. I did watch the Channel Awesome implosion because I used to watch Channel Awesome back in the day. 2009, I believe, is when I was really 2010. I used to get up. One of the years I lived in the dorms, I would get up every Wednesday morning and I would watch the new Nostalgia Critic episode, and I usually laughed and liked it. And then on Monday nights, I would watch Atop the Fourth Wall with Lynn Caro. But over time, I just got tired from their shtick, and the voices he would do for Spider-Man were just really annoying. But I have seen the Medicare vids on Channel Awesome because it was like a 7-part series. That was a dumpster fire that I think all YouTube creators should watch. Channel Awesome and Mundane Matt, those should all be used as cautionary tales. Like if you ever want to be a YouTuber on this platform, putting out content regularly as a job, watch those, because you need to be careful not to follow the same mistakes that they made, because the damage is irreparable. I know people go back and say, well, people forgot about Channel Awesome. No, people didn't forget about Channel Awesome. They just stopped trolling them. The Mundane Matt thing, he's lost what? 15,000 subscribers almost over the last couple days. That's just, again, it's a cautionary tale on what not to do. Don't shit on your audience. Don't lie to other YouTubers. Don't lie to your audience. It just looks bad on you. It looks bad on your community. So thank you, FireX. I have not seen the Bruce Lee lightsaber nunchuck video. I guess I'll have to check it out. Good morning to everyone that's rolling in. We're not watching the trailer, Mickey Mouse. We're not watching anything due to YouTube's strict copyright policies. We're not going to be streaming anything over this. So if you're waiting to watch the trailer, sorry, but that's not going to happen, because I'm not going to lose streaming for 90 days because I chose to show a trailer. All you guys got to do is type in Star Wars Resistance. The first video is this trailer. The second video is our video. So once you're done watching the trailer, go back and watch that one. That's the best way to hear everything you need to hear. They'll blame the failure on its male lead. That is probably what will happen, unless she goes in September. If Kathleen Kennedy's gone in a couple of weeks, that won't be the case. It'll just be like, the show was on at a bad time slot. It'll be weird. You'll have people like coming out to defend it. It wasn't because it was a male lead. It was because it looked like shit and it came out at 10 p.m. at night on a Sunday. What kid is up at 10 p.m. on Sunday nights? Not many. Even teenagers who are in high school usually have about a 10 p.m. time slot. Like I'm talking about them like they're a goddamn TV show. All right, son, you got to go to bed in the 10 p.m. time slot. No, I usually go to bed around that time. I know at least I did in high school because we had football practice and other shit to deal with. Oh, I heard about the Cosmonaut Variety Hour channel. It keeps getting suggested to me, and I thought, I really don't have time to watch somebody, a misguided person, shit on the Spider-Man Sam Raimi trilogy, because I know the character, and I've made up my mind based off my actual information from the books and stuff like that. I don't need somebody looking for clicks to just make up some bullshit to dump on it. Spider-Man 1 and 2 beat the shit out of Homecoming. Kids. Now let's see who else is popping up here. You want your 5 minutes back from that? Yeah, I feel like they do owe you an extra 4 minutes for that. That's something you'll never get back. So I apologize in advance. I apologize to everyone who looked at that flash in the pan garbage. They may include Star Wars and Kingdom Hearts 3. It'll probably be Rey, BB-8, and Kylo Ren, or some dumb shit like that. I mean, imagine Kingdom Hearts where you fight Darth Vader. That'd be cool. Or you're Luke Skywalker, something like a character that we all care about. No, it's Disney Star Wars. The mandate is we need to get Rey over. Rey's like Roman Reigns. She'll never get over. We'll give her the championship 1,000,000 times, but she'll never truly be over with the fans. That's an excellent point. People who use the "it's for kids" argument don't have respect for kids' intelligence. We've proven here on the channel that younger listeners are smarter than people give them credit for. Our friend, was it Rogue Leader? He was a lot smarter than people would give, a young Star Wars fan credit for. He got the essence of the characters in the film. Kids pick up on this shit. When I was a little kid, I picked up on stuff and understood it and appreciated it. I think that's why Star Wars works with so many people. Spark Demon, thank you very much for your super chat. Jeff, I'm a big fan of Wolf and Mahler's The Last Jedi reviews. Have you ever seen Miss Anthroponi's The Last Jedi 5-part review series? If so, what did you think? I have not seen it. A bunch of people have asked me to check it out, and it's something I need to do. I might have watched it and just don't remember it, because after we did our Last Jedi review and the subsequent videos and stuff like that, I went back and I watched tons and tons of stuff. Like, I've seen Mahler's videos and Dishonored Wolf before I ever had him here on the channel. So that wasn't really they weren't new to me, but Miss Anthroponi, I hear that name a lot. So I do need to check that out, and I definitely will. Where's my pencil? I'm gonna write that down. Last Jedi. Okay. Well, I'll do that, Spark Demon, and then I will let you guys know by the end of the week. Brindlefan84, thank you very much for your super chat. I used to watch Linkar, but could only take so much shitting on the comics I grew up with because they weren't his art or social standards. Up to his art or social standards. Yeah, Linkar is probably do I want to say he's the worst comic critic on the internet? I don't like how he shits on Frank Miller because he's like a uber feminist. Not Frank Miller, no, Linkara. I don't know. The shtick was dumb. I didn't need to see some chubby dude in a Green Ranger costume tell me about what good and bad artwork is. It's like, look, I draw. I understand what the harder elements of art are, what the easier ones are. Maybe we joke about Rob Liefeld and the giant-tittied Captain America, but at the same time, we're going to respect the creators and not harp on the same shit. That's what Linkara's gimmick was, and I gave up on it. All the Channel Awesome people aren't, something I watch. I don't have the time for the nostalgia critic screaming or his little sidekicks. They're not very interesting. I don't want to turn this episode into I'm going to shit on Channel Awesome morning, but they just overstayed their welcome for me. Thor Skywalker, people want me to get him on the channel. I can look into it. Pretty much all your suggestions and recommendations, guys, hold those off until September starts, because till the end of the month, we're really busy. Like I said, we got the convention, I got other stuff that's going on, and I won't be having any guests on this channel until September starts. The moist has arrived. Everyone, press F. Press muff to respect the moist. I always said press muff to respect the muff. Well, that's okay if you've never heard of Channel Awesome. They had a big controversy earlier in the year, and it just, I don't know, it just goes to show you what a bunch of crappy people some of them were behind the scenes. I don't know. Some of the stuff you hear about these people is eye-opening. Thankfully, the Fandom Menace community doesn't have any of that stuff and never will have any of that stuff. We're not a bunch of creators trying to, like, put it like this. When Jeremy, Ethan, and I meet, there will be debauchery of the best kind. Lots of pie will be eaten, and there will be tons of fun. But no one's going to get hurt unless they kind of like choke on the pie or something. Oh, lots of muff love. All right, muff, it's what's for dinner. I agree. That sounds like a good meal. I haven't had breakfast yet, so maybe after my 8th cup of coffee, we'll go out and muff it up just right. Marshall muffs. So real quick, I got an email the other day. This is a little personal aside for a Star Wars. I don't want to call, what did I call it? Like a performance at the Cincinnati Orchestra from Star Wars: A New Hope. They're doing the entire musical score to the movie live. And part of me wants to see it, but part of me feels like if I do go see it, I'll be feeding the beast that is Disney. So I'm torn. What do you guys think of the situation? Should I go and enjoy it, or should I just say fuck it and listen to the soundtrack at home that I rented from the library and ripped to a CD myself? I will beer butter pie. Don't make me hungry, guys. I see now. If I started looking at pictures of food, I might stop the stream and just go to Waffle House. Waffle House isn't even that great, but it's cheap-ish, and they make all their stuff fresh. Okay, it seems like more people are saying go. Support a New Hope. Okay. Disney gets zero money for the music. Okay. Okay, then I'll look into it. I'll look. There's a Sunday performance coming up on I don't want to do it at night because I want to do streams for you guys and stuff. But I'll look into it. It'll be at 2 p.m. on a Sunday type of thing. That'd be a lot of fun. Are you drunk? Waffle House is a 3 a.m. drunk thing. Well, where I live, it's either Waffle House or fast food places, and I really don't want another sausage, egg, and cheese McGriddle. Hell, I don't want any sausage, egg, and cheese McGriddles. I have so much shame and guilt and indigestion. Yeah, there are 400 people here, over almost 500, and only 70 likes. Pound that muff button, guys. Let's get that going. One of the times I went to Waffle House, like 2 times ago, I was coming back from a bar with my cousin, and we watched a guy have an accident. He was drunk, and he wrecked into the median wall, and there were sparks, and the car spun out. It was insane. Waffle House has weaponized hash browns. Stop talking about their hash browns. That's the thing I always get there. Hash brown bowl with sausage, eggs, and gravy and cheese. Well, here's the thing about the new Star Wars fans. Let me tell you guys a story. 2016 was a very interesting year for me. It was the last year that I wanted to be an illustrator, so I was working comic shows and doing stuff like that. And I was at Free Comic Book Day at my local store, Rock and Rooster, best comic book store in the area. And I had, prints of stuff like that. I actually worked it one more time in 2017. Take that back. That was the last thing I ever did. So last May. But in 2016 show, I took my art. People were really cool and receptive. I actually made money. There were other artists there. I was the only one that made a profit, so that was cool. And we got into talking about Star Wars, and this guy was talking about my art. He's like, "Man, you're really good. I've been an illustrator for this many years. I'd like to help you and all this crap." And we started talking about Star Wars and how I disliked the new one. And all of a sudden, the guy became antagonistic and a dick over this movie that I didn't like. And I was just like, okay, fine. And so I'll see this guy out in public, and he just still acts like a perpetual dick over the fucking movie. So these new Star Wars, the thing is, he's an old fan that couldn't accept that episode 7 was shit. So I'd be interested to talk to him, to hear his thoughts on episode 8 and how his candy ass is in denial, going on 2 years later about, episode 8 was the best one of all, blah, 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 blah. Like, shut the fuck up, dude. Maybe I want to be antagonistic towards him now. Oh my God, people are still talking about food. Stop. Seriously, there will be a day where you guys keep trolling me with food talk, and I'll just be like, I'm done. I got to go. Bye. I might encounter that more if I go to the concert. No, people do not come up to me and talk to me in public. People will look at me and then look away if I look at them. So I'm not really worried. To quote my friend Ethan, a lot of modern Star Wars fans are soy boys and soy girls. And your average soy boy is not going to try to pick a fight with me because it won't end well. Even if he's very, if he's the best yoga stretcher in all of the land, you just smack him. I'm not really worried about it. It wasn't the movie. The guy sounds like a total douchebag. He was a total douchebag. Fuck him. His daughter was like 18, is trying to tell me that Jakku was right next to Endor and something else, and that was Endor in the movie. I was like, what the fuck? I said, you guys are wrong. Then finally, he also goes on this thing about The Empire Strikes Back is the best 90 minutes of cinema ever. I'm like, dude, every Star Wars movie is over 2 hours. He goes, no, it's not. Look it up. So I looked up the runtime for every Star Wars movie on this thing called the internet that this motherfucker hadn't heard of. And then there we go. He just was like, well, and then he just shut up. So, yeah, you're right. He just was a total douchebag, John. Well, Adam, I expect you to come say hi to me because you're a fan of the channel, and I like you. But you're not a soy boy. You listen to this show, and the thing is, you actually listen to what we say. It's not about they put anti-SJW in the title card, and I can't watch because they're racist. It's like, no, I'll give everyone that listens to this show credit. You guys have a good head on your shoulders. You listen to what we're actually saying, and the content, speaks to you. I know yoga isn't a fighting technique. That's the point. Let's see. So I think we've had enough of this Star Wars trailer talk. Have we? Is there anything else you guys want to say? I mean, yeah, I want to meet everyone in Chicago too, Billy. We've been thinking a lot about that off air. I've been getting some things together, even though it's almost a year away. I got tons and tons of stuff to talk about. Yeah, I'll do a P.O. box for fan mail. Ooh, speaking of fan stuff, let me show you guys this great piece of fan art we got. It was incredible. It's from our friend Curtis, the guy that does all of the world-class bullshitters art. So, the Ethan Van Sciver fighting the giant pie and all that stuff. Our friend Curtis is just an incredible artist, and he keeps drawing all of us. So let me open this up in a new tab to show you guys. I love this. This is my favorite piece of fan art. So if anyone ever tries to send in fan art, you have a lot to aspire to. So first off, Brandon Moist, I'm going to attempt to get to Chicago. Brandon Moist, please make it to Chicago. I owe you a beer. Drew, thank you very much for your super chat. Star Wars Episode 9. Now this is pod racing. Star Wars Episode 9.5. Let's try spinning. That's a good trick. Star Wars Episode 10. Yippee! Oh, I like that. I was going to say, what's Star Wars Episode 10.5? Wizard! Or whatever the fuck that kid said. Star Wars Episode 11. Are you an angel? I feel bad for Jake Lloyd, but man, Anakin sucked. Prepare myself for Chicago. Audio, or, yeah, well, I've been to Chicago so many times. So many times. So here's the fan art from our friend Curtis. It's an incredible piece of art. Yeah. So he drew the bullshitters as the Power Rangers. Yeah, damn good art is right. The High Council is here on World Class Bullshitters tonight, for those asking. So don't miss out. It'll be here, 9 o'clock as always. I got a big surprise. We got a ton of stuff to talk about. That Rian Johnson trilogy that probably never was. You see, that trilogy is a study in like, hey, what's the right word I want to use? It's an exercise in ego, if you will. They were so sure of Rian Johnson's trilogy, or maybe they weren't so sure. Honestly, what I think it is they knew the dumpster fire they had on their hands, but they wanted to trick the audience because there is a big portion of the audience out there who is stupid. And they will buy up anything the media tells them. So they will listen to the John Campies of the world. They will listen to the Colliders and everything else out there. And that's where they form their opinions. I don't dislike the people, the core people, but what I dislike is the people who can't form their own opinion. I always form my own opinion. You guys form your own opinions. Some people say the Resistance trailer looks fine. Some people say it looks cheap. I think it looks cheap, and I think it's poorly marketed. But overall, even if we have differing opinions, you all have formulated your own. The people that bought into the Last Jedi hype, if they weren't bought and paid for shills, they were very dumb and easily naive, if you will. Naive is a nicer word to use. They were naive to believe that just because Rian Johnson's getting a trilogy, it means the movie has to be great. And then they saw it, and I think a lot of people can't come to terms that something they love is truly dog shit. It's a hard pill to swallow for a lot of people. For me, it's just you have to accept it. There were a lot of films in my lifetime that I wanted to be great, and they weren't. Batman and Robin was probably the first one. I was so pumped for it. I hated it. Spider-Man 3, probably one of the biggest disappointments in my cinematic life. Star Wars Episode 7 was a nightmare. So for people talking about the artwork, I'm the Green Ranger. Kendo's the red. Dion's the black with his dildo saber. Nick's the blue. Channel Dad Brian Lape is in yellow on a unicycle. I almost said a unicorn. And that man baby in the background, that's Rian Johnson. I mean, look at the round head, the goatee. But look at World Class Bullshitters. I love this. Down the road, I'll try to get Curtis to do something in black and white, like higher quality, and not color it. And we'll turn it into a shirt. I'll buy the design from him, and we'll put it out there. I think that'd be a really cool collaboration between the fans. Like, if you guys have fan art you'd like to draw, no matter the level, I'd appreciate to see it. It's fun, you know. To me, when people send in fan art, it's like they really do like us. They take the time, and Curtis is a machine. That dude has knocked out about 10 pieces of fan art over the last couple weeks, and he's really nice too. He messaged me yesterday and told me how much he enjoys the channel. So, Curtis, I just want to tell you how much I enjoy your artwork and how much I appreciate you taking your time to do it for us. And I'm glad I'm the Green Ranger, because the Green Ranger got the Pink Ranger, and Green Ranger's the cool one. So, thank you. You know, stick figures are the most important part of drawing. All the stuff I draw, it used to start out as stick figures. Now I do circles. I will talk about how to draw later. Maybe that'll be one of our Indiegogo perks, a private drawing session. That'd be kind of cool. Maybe I should write that down. Yeah. I need Kathleen Kennedy as Rita Repulsa. Yeah, I'd buy this as a T-shirt too. I gotta talk to Curtis and have him draw us something not in color, because what we'll do is then we'll scan it into a computer and make higher resolution artwork and put it out there. This would be honestly, this would be something I would want on a shirt. This exact image. This is incredible. I just love he gets our likenesses so right too. I mean, that's how we all look. Oh, I love it so much. Ryan Johnson is Lord Zed. Oh, dude, Lord Zed was all muscly and ripped. Ryan Johnson has the body of like a 45-year-old dad. Maybe Ryan Johnson is a 45-year-old dad. He's got the face of a baby, though. I should expand this into an Animal House style poster. I love that idea. Maybe we should do that. An Animal House style world class bullshitter shirt. Now, remember, folks, our website, now that I got all the equipment, will be here sooner than you think. Yeah, the Green Ranger is a pretty cool dude. I'm looking forward to having him on the channel one day. I've reached out. I'll continue to reach out. This weekend was Power Morphicon, so that wasn't going to happen. But, you know, down the road, maybe he doesn't have a convention coming up. Maybe I can get him on the show for half an hour. That'd be amazing. Speaking of Power Morphicon, and this ties into the Star Wars merchandise that's fallen apart. Somebody made a really good point the other day. Excuse me, and I had never thought of it. The Star Wars brand is garbage on the toy shelves. People aren't buying it. It's the same shit from years ago. But the Marvel Legends line is being constantly pumped out. And somebody said to me, well, what if they just keep pumping out Marvel Legends and they're higher quality and people will buy them so they can offset the losses from the Star Wars stuff? Because the way they usually report it is acquired brands, not this and that. And I thought that is probably the point, because there are so many Marvel figures out there. Our friend Trent can attest to this. There are about 30 to 40 Marvel Legends figures that keep coming out. Like probably 10 a month, honestly. Like a new wave probably comes out every month. And people are going nuts for these things. And they're just selling out left and right. You get some figures that are ridiculously hard to find. You get some that are easy to find. But overall, you get a nice selection and they move on the shelves. Like that Deadpool wave was pretty successful. He only had like 1 or 2 figures that didn't move. The reason I bring this up now, though, is because Hasbro has the Power Rangers. They own the Power Rangers. They bought it outright from Saban. And they released the first image of the Hasbro-produced Power Ranger toy. I bet this is going to be something that's more profitable, # more profitable than Disney Star Wars, Hasbro Power Rangers. So it's going to be an interesting couple of months to see how that helps rebound their brand. And if they slowly, not wean off production of Star Wars toys, but I wouldn't be surprised if they turn Star Wars into a Masters of the Universe style collection where it's an adult collector focus, where you can order your figures online and they don't really worry about store presence outside of movie years, and hell, even within movie years. Because if you're going to try to put out a toy line based on a Netflix streaming series, or not Netflix, but a streaming series on the Disney streaming service, I don't know how that's going to work. Not a lot of people today will just buy something because it says Star Wars on the box. If that fictional character that I talked about earlier in the show got a toy, if you don't know who the character is and you have no emotional connection to him or her, you're not going to buy it. So Disney's in a weird place with this. They need to rework their format of distribution with Hasbro. And Hasbro's just going to go off making Marvel and Power Ranger toys and making buku dollars, because nostalgia is a powerful tool that, unlike Star Wars, these other places, embrace. If you're a child of the 90s like me, even though I was born in 88, you have a nostalgic soft spot for the X-Men cartoon from the 90s. So what does Hasbro do? Well, now they're slowly releasing versions of each figure based on the Jim Lee artwork, so you can build up that X-Men collection. And they sold. Jean Grey is a couple $100 now. Rogue is expensive. Cyclops was a bitch to find, and now Wolverine's just coming out, and Professor X will be out soon and stuff like that. So Archangel, they know what they're doing. They're staggering the nostalgic releases. They're keeping people interested for many months. Star Wars just puts out Rey and Jyn Erso in like different boxes. Show the Hasbro Power Rangers. I could do that. By the way, folks, this week's episode of World Class Bullshitters is going to be very special. Just putting it out there right now. So, you guys wanted to see the Hasbro Power Ranger? I'll show that to you. It looks decent. I'm not going to buy it at all. Not to sound like I don't want to sound like a hipster, but they put out there's a company called SH Figure Arts. They do Star Wars figures. They're very realistic. I bought the entire set when they were new, therefore they were only $30, but now they're like $200 each. And instead of me buying, shit that I don't want, like lesser quality version, I already have a good one. So let's see. Here it is right here. And this will sell more than any of the new Star Wars figures because of nostalgia. Grendel Fan 84, thank you very much. Speaking of nostalgia, did you see the images of the He-Man body-styled horror icon figures that are coming out from Funko Pop? I did see those. I'll show those in just a moment, dude. Those were incredible. I want to buy them all. They did a Son of Zorn. Does anybody remember that show, Son of Zorn, that was on Fox for like a minute? They did action figures like that in the He-Man's body style. There's even an Easy E figure that's like that. Easy He. But here we go. Hasbro's first Power Ranger figure is a premium, highly detailed look at the White Ranger, Tommy Oliver. Now, this is the first image from Hasbro. There's a little video that I can't show about this. Like I said, I really don't feel like getting a copyright strike and losing the streaming for the next 90 days over that. But as you can see, this is it right here. And if you were a child of the 90s, you probably look at this and go, oh man, that looks great. I would get that. This is how Hasbro offsets their Star Wars losses with the Power Rangers and Marvel. I would be, it wouldn't be bad as down the road if Hasbro got the DC license, because people are thinking, oh, you don't want one company to own all the toy licenses. Well, there was a point in time where Mego owned both Marvel and DC figures for the Superpowers collection, I believe is what they were called, back in the 70s and 80s. And those Mego cloth figures are iconic. I wouldn't mind, because the Marvel Legends have the best bodies and the articulation and the better paint apps and the distribution and all that stuff. The DC Universe line is not really anything to write home about. They put out stupid figures that no one buys. I mean, how many goddamn Wonder Woman figures have you seen clogging the shelves? When Toys R Us went out of business, I saw stacks. The only thing that rivaled the Wonder Woman backlog, and I'm not even talking about her, but like her mother and that other lady, those figures had shelves full of them. Next to Jyn Erso, nobody matched that. So this is this one, and let me show you why I'm not really interested in it, though, because, I am a collector, and we've talked about this stuff. I have the SH Figure Arts ones, and I just think they're better toys. So let me show you guys images of these so you can see what I'm talking about. Where's a good promotional shot? Awkward silence. I know. Well, I'll just show you this one because this is what it looks like in the box. I didn't open mine. Oh, nope. Gotta love on-air radio, live radio. So this is the one I prefer. I know people are looking at that and say it looks pretty cool. I know there's not a lot of Power Ranger nostalgia. We tend to gear towards the Star Wars nostalgia, and that's fine. But there we go. Right there. This is why I'll never buy the Hasbro one, because if you like quality like I do, there's already a better one out there than this. So what's going on with the Kelly Marie Tran article? Is there something going on with her? Let me know, because I keep seeing people talk about it. Oh, you need your awful comic art. Well, you're going to get some. I got some actually. Well, I pulled up some bad art because I wanted to play a little game. Can you tell me what we're looking at? And maybe that'll be a segment for today, and we'll go back to the bad comic book art in a little bit. Or we can go back to it right after that. Oh, there's a recent Kelly Marie Tran article interview. Okay. Let me pull that up. Maybe I'll read that on. I'll read it on air. Press muff if you want me to read it on air, and we'll have a good laugh. So let's see. Kelly. I'm just typing with one hand because my other one is drinking coffee. Tran. Oh, God. It comes from the New York Times. Well, I don't care about... There we go. Kelly Marie Tran. I won't be marginalized by online harassment. I don't know why I became Terry Funk. Maybe I should take this serious. I'm not going to take it seriously. She sucked. Oh, my God. Rose Tico was so dumb. Kelly Marie Tran, fine person. Maybe. But let's see what she has to say about herself in this article. You know, maybe Uncle Ethan will cry if he sees this. There's going to be so much to talk about on the High Council tonight. Please do not miss the High Council. It's just going to be incredible. So here, I'm going to show you this picture of Kelly Marie Tran so you could look at the actress while I read the article. Holy shit, this is going to be fun. No more Power Ranger talk. That was my childhood. I'm sure a lot of you like Transformers and He-Man and other stuff like that. So here's a picture of Kelly Marie Tran. You guys, let's see. Yeah, wow, there's a ton of muff in the chat. There we go. I sound like Matt Foley. Am I living in a van down by the river? Smoking doobies. Anyway, Kelly Marie Tran, I won't be marginalized by online harassment. Editor's note, the actress deleted her Instagram post this summer in response to online harassment. He or she speaks out for the first time. It wasn't their words. It's that I started to believe them. Sounds like a her problem. Their words seem to confirm what growing up as a woman and a person of color already taught me, that I belonged in margins and spaces, valid only as a minor character in their lives and stories. And those words awakened something deep inside of me, a feeling I thought I had grown out of. The same feeling I had when I was 9. I stopped speaking Vietnamese altogether. I was tired of hearing other kids mock me. Or at 17, when at dinner with my white boyfriend and his family, I ordered a meal in perfect English, to the surprise of the waitress, who exclaimed, "Wow, that was so cute that you have an exchange student." Their words reinforced a narrative. I have heard that my whole life, that I was other, that I didn't belong. It wasn't good enough simply because I wasn't like them. And that feeling, I realize now, was and is shame. A shame for the things that made me different. A shame from the culture which I came from. And to me, the most disappointing thing was that I felt all of it. Because the same society that taught me because the same society that taught me that some people were heroes, saviors, and inheritors of the manifest destiny ideal taught me that I only existed in the background of their stories, doing their nails, diagnosing their illnesses, supporting their love interests, and perhaps the most damaging, waiting for them to rescue me. Well, let me stop right there. Diagnosing their illness makes you a goddamn doctor. Doctors make a shitload of money. I would not be upset if somebody mistook me for a doctor. That kind of defeats your whole argument right there. Now, the nails thing, I could get that. You don't want to play into the stereotype. But how is being considered a stereotype of a doctor offensive? It's one of the best jobs you can have. Yeah, you pay a shitload of insurance, or malpractice insurance. But I mean, come on now, Kelly. You're just reaching. This manifest destiny garbage. This is the most preachy, college-level fucking bullshit I've ever read. This is terrible. There's a reason why you're a side character. Because you... Never mind. I'll keep going. And for a long time, I believed them. I believed those words, those stories, carefully crafted by a society that was built to uphold the power of one type of person, one sex, one skin tone, one existence. Reinforced with me the rules that were written before I was born, rules that made my parents deem it necessary to abandon their real names and adopt American ones, Tony and Kay. So it was easier for others to pronounce a literal erasure of culture that still has me aching to the core. I doubt that hurts. And as much as I hate to admit it, I started blaming myself. I thought, oh, maybe if I was thinner, or maybe if I grew up my hair, or worst of all, maybe if I wasn't Asian. For months, I went down a spiral of self-hate into the darkest recesses of my mind, places where I tore myself apart, where I put their words above my self-worth. And that's when I realized I had been lied to. I had been brainwashed into believing that my existence was limited to the boundaries of another person's approval, that I had been tricked into thinking that my body was not my own, that I was beautiful only if someone else believed it, regardless of my own opinion. I had been told and retold this by everyone, by the media, by Hollywood, by companies that profited from my insecurities, manipulating me so that I would buy their clothes, their makeup, their shoes, in order to fill a void that was perpetuated by them in the first place. Jeff's note. Sounds like her problem. So let's keep going. I have been lied to. We all have. Don't speak for me, Kelly Marie Tran. And it wasn't in this realization that I felt a different shame. Not a shame for who I was, but a shame for the world I grew up in, and a shame for how that world treats anyone who is different. I am not the first person to have grown up this way. That this was to I'm sorry, I hate reading this. This is what it is to grow up as a person of color in a white-dominated world. Fuck you. This is what it is to be a woman in society that's taught their daughters that we are worthy of love only if we are deemed attractive by its sons, as the world grew up in. But it's not the world I want to leave behind. I want to live in a world where children of color don't spend their entire adolescence wishing to be white. I want to live in a world where women aren't subjected to scrutiny for their appearance or their actions or their actions. I thought everyone was supposed to be, judged by the content of their character, which in turn is their actions. What do you want? Do you want to be just treated like a goddess because you exist? It's not how the real world works. You need to be of value. All you're doing is bitching. They didn't like me in the movie, so you whine in the New York Times. Listen to this. I never once criticized Rose Tico because she was ugly or Asian. I don't have anything against Asian women. My problem with Rose Tico, she was a shit character, poorly acted. I will judge you by your acting ability. We do it to everybody in the world. If you give a great performance, bravo, good for you. You give a shit performance, well, you fucked up. So I need people like Kelly Marie Tran to wake up and smell the coffee. Your criticisms of Rose Tico, yeah, you were trolled. Yeah, people said shit to you, but overall, the fandom menace and a large majority of people that dislike you, you're a nothing character. It's not about being marginalized to the sidelines because you're Asian. Benicio del Toro was a stupid nothing character. Most of the characters in Star Wars are nothing characters. This is more of that SJW rhetoric rearing its ugly head to try to defend some garbage that was poorly written. And you know what? If your career suffers from The Last Jedi, it's not because the world is racist or doesn't like you because of the way you look. It's because you gave a bad performance in a bad movie written by a bad director. Wake up. Realize that. You're not marginalized. It's 2018. The world is a different place. Your parents made decisions that they made. That's not my fault. That's not the fault of Star Wars. The fault of Star Wars is presenting you in a potato sack as a really piss-poor action character who makes stupid, illogical decisions that you're criticized for as if you were a real person, the character. So just accept the fact that people don't hate Kelly Marie Tran. People don't dislike you because you're Asian or because you think you're too big. People hate Rose Tico because Rose Tico is a stupid character, much like Jar Jar Binks, much like Rey, much like Kylo Ren, much like Finn, Poe Dameron, everybody. You can't use the minority defense, Disney, Kelly Marie Tran, the real world. If you don't produce a quality product, quality performance, you're going to get critiqued. You're going to get criticized. It's just how it works. There's no hatred, at least from my end. I'll speak for me and the fandom menace. We don't dislike Rose Tico because she's Asian. We dislike her because she sucks. So that's all I have to say. I don't really care about any of this shit. This is just defensive bullshit. So let's see. I know I read that. I apologize. That was long. Let's see. Grendel fan 84 says, seriously missed the point. Her character sucks. Her character does suck. It's not about her goddamn looks. I don't care. I don't find her ugly at all. I'm one of those people. I'm not white myself. I don't really have a bias against women of color. I don't even consider them women of color. Just, this one or that one. It just, they're people. Ryan Cannell says, I just hated the character before. Now I hate her. Hey, I don't promote hate, but I let everyone make their own conclusions. That's all I can say. I can't tell you how to feel or think. I can just present the information and tell you how I feel, and then you guys let me know how you feel, and we have a discussion. That's how this whole channel works. Cole Ween says, wonder what the me so horny lady thinks of this. Oh, from Full Metal Jacket? Right? That's from Full Metal Jacket. Yeah, let's ask Stanley Kubrick. Oh, wait. Put on your hip waders. The shit's getting deep. Everyone is judged on how they look. It is literally the first thing people see. And you know what? That's fine. And you for some people, you go out and you make the change. I promote a healthier lifestyle, especially through me. So instead of bitching, I'm not accepted. You know what I do? I go and make myself what I want to be. I'm so tired of this excuse culture. I don't want to get political or ranty on this, but so many people, they want to come up with bullshit excuses why they're this or they're that. I didn't want to be unhealthy, so I got my ass to the gym, and now I feel like a different man. You don't want to be broke, so you get a job and you make yourself better. You don't want to be a fucked up student, so you study hard and you become an A student. It's all on you. We don't live in a society of accountability anymore. We elevate bullshit like this. I was marginalized before the movie came out. Okay, lady, your parents made some decisions. Not every parent's a perfect parent. Okay, you don't have my mom. You're not lucky. So maybe your parents made mistakes or they wanted to become Americanized. I put it like this: that's not important to this whole thing. You're looking for pity. This is not a Kelly Marie Tran pity party. This is the real world. This is the internet. Put on your armor and don't show your weakness. Don't bitch about stuff. Say what you want to say about it. Daisy Ridley came out and said her stuff. Again, this just seems like garbage. The hunky chunky funky monkey says not one mention from her of the fandom or why she left social media. All it says is she felt the same way as a lot of people of color. Well, the hunky chunky funky monkey, you are correct. I just don't. Not everybody wants to be white. Dion does not want to be white. He's very proud of who he is. I'm very proud of who I am. I'm tired of little bullshit like this being elevated as empowering. No, if anything, this is disempowering to anybody from any race. Be yourself. If you're a dick, you'll be judged as a dick. I think that's the fairest way to do all of this. David Cook, I just threw up in my mouth. I guess I'm allergic to self-pity and bullshit. What the fuck is this? Help me, Lord Muff. You're my only hope. Thank you very much. I like Lord Muff, Darth Muff. I'll take all those names. Mr. Shitter, I accept whatever you guys want to call me. I am your muffin savior. Brandon Moist, thank you very much for your $2 super chat. There's no message, but I appreciate that. John Lance, good job blasting that stupid article. Thank you, John Lance. I appreciate that. I'm glad I saw that and we could have a live take, a hot take, if you will, like the quartering says here on the channel. Wow. John Tennant, giant super chat. Thank you very much. She was one of the biggest reasons Solo flopped to shit in the G. Sorry. She was one of the biggest reasons Solo flopped to shit in the G, China region. If her comments get translated to Chinese, she may have to destroyed Star Wars in China forever. I didn't realize she was Vietnamese. I just really didn't care. Kelly Marie Tran, that's her. Yeah, they don't think of stuff like this. I know in China they're a lot stricter about how they feel about people from different parts of the world. That's the Chinese culture. We can't change it. We can only discuss it. I don't want to vilify Chinese people because of their different views. It's just whatever. I can't be a single guy to change it, nor do I feel that it is my crusade or job to do. But yeah, Star Wars was kind of hurt in China, but this probably will get translated into Chinese. I know some of our videos reach China. I have analytics to prove, 20 minutes a day are listened to in China. But if this does get translated into Chinese, she has put the final nail in the coffin about of Star Wars. And they don't like, there's that article that came out that we covered earlier in the year. They didn't like Finn because they considered him ugly. That was a joking thing, but that was from a Chinese audience member. And they don't like Solo because of just how Star Wars is perceived there. It's interesting that when Disney tries to be culturally aware and significant and woke, if you will, they are burning themselves down. Marvel movies haven't done that yet. They just, they skirt over that dumb shit that no one actually gives us a crap about. They just jump over that and then they move into the next thing. Entertainment. That's what this all is, entertainment. This isn't let's all huddle around Kelly Marie Tran. And, you brought up the Chinese market. One thing, I have a friend who's half Korean, and his mom's straight up from Korea. His dad was a white dude from Michigan or whatever. My point is, though, he talked to me about how men and women, at least in his family, they're treated like, because he's the son, he's like the golden child, and, they all want boys and stuff like that. I can't help that Kelly Marie Tran comes from possibly a background of that. That is not on us as fans. And none of you out there should feel bad about critiquing Rose Tico as is, because it is a job. It is a piece of art, if you will. And it's our right to critique art every day. It doesn't attack her. No one goes to her house to bother her. Nobody wants to do that. I don't advocate that. All I say is you form your own opinions and you have the freedom to say what you want about her. She can make her little guilt trip platform known, but you shouldn't watch Star Wars The Last Jedi at all. But if you do, out of curiosity, morbid curiosity, don't let her go and make you feel different. Oh, I should feel good about her character because she has such a hard upbringing. You know what? Yeah, you dealt with some shit. Everybody does, of every color. Just buck up. Let's see. Claustoric. Thank you very much, Claustoric. Preach it. Good to see you back, my friend. Thank you to everyone who's liking my little rant. I appreciate it. Grendel Fan 84. Next time, have a violin sound effect play in the background when one of these overpaid celebrities decides to whine and complain. I'm rubbing my fingers together. I'm playing the world's tiniest violin for Kelly Marie Tran. I can't wait for tonight to hear what EVS has to say about this because I don't know. He'll apologize to her personally and lick her butter, and I actually mean butter, nothing dirtier than that. Yeah, it's funny that somebody brought up the Depeche Mode song. I was going to quote that earlier, people are people, but I didn't think anyone would get that joke, so I just let it go. Looks like Kelly Marie Tran really woke up this morning. Ugh. It's funny when you talk about this woke culture and entertainment, there's a pushback now. Your average everyday person. Here's the thing. I keep wanting to say your average everyday American because what you watch on TV, they say your average everyday American, blah, blah, blah. But we're world-class bullshitters. And on the internet, we reach all over the world. We have people in Australia, people in Singapore, people all over. You know, we broadcast everywhere. So I have to correct myself. But your average person doesn't care about the wokeness. They care about other things. And the company that gives you what you care about all the time and puts your best interest first instead of trying to look cool to bloggers and dicks that don't buy anything, well, that's a company that will succeed and flourish in the future. That's the one simple trick to all of this. Don't let your agenda, don't let your ego get in the way. What you do is you give the people what they want and they will come back in droves and they will become big fans. Make them, obsessed with you. Star Wars had that. Not anymore. Cesare Japan, thank you very much. This is from the New York Times, the same company that hired a racist and defended the hire. That sounds typical. Yeah, the New York Times, I guess in college I would use them as a source because when you're writing papers, sometimes you don't want to look for 45 sources. You just want to find one that's reputable and you can use for your paper. But as an adult, living in the real world, I am very wary where my news comes from. Now, when they get into the op-ed pieces, that's when I just shut up because I don't care. I want the facts. Just the facts, ma'am. That's all I need. Not anything but that. I'm smart enough, and you're all smart enough to form your own opinions. The Chinese audience found The Last Jedi cast aesthetically challenged. Yeah, they did. They did. So, okay. Get woke, go broke. Yeah, so here we are. We're all caught up. The Mega's making more in China than all the Star Wars movies combined. Wow. The monster movies and the big spectacle stuff makes money in China, but they took out the big spectacle stuff in Star Wars. Realistically, the climax of The Last Jedi was like an anti-climax. Like Rian Johnson's an anti-male. He kind of looks like one, but we don't know what's really going on down there. Kind of like with Star Wars. It looks like it's going to have this big epic climax, but nothing really happened. It was so lame. But this is an important thing to talk about because we had to be told for about a month that she was harassed and bullied offline because of angry Star Wars fans. And they used that news to deflect from the failure that was Solo. Solo was an unmitigated failure. It flopped in the world, across the world. Done. Boom. Didn't make any money in terms of a profit. That came out to deflect us. They kept calling us hateful bigots. We had to listen to the moral police try to tell Rian Johnson to be the voice of reason, which no, not ever. And now they put out a piece where they don't even address the information. They talk about her in her own personal life. You know what, Kelly? Blame your parents. Blame Tony and May or whatever they call themselves. Blame them. Don't blame me because, you know, you're a joke Star Wars character. You're marginalized to the side. You had as much screen time as Luke Skywalker, the fucking hero of the saga. I don't want to hear about your marginalized bullshit. You got so much time in a movie that you were underqualified for. Well, no, not her underqualified for, just poorly written. I mean, I guess Ryan Johnson wanted to make her lame, and she did that. She acted well. She acted lame. Stanford Son, thank you very much. As a white male, I am instantly judged to be racist and a bigot solely on my appearance, yet I'm the intolerant one. Yep, the double standard is real, man. But the internet's not a real place. Don't worry about that kind of stuff. Just, you know, be who you want to be. I always say be a good person, be cool to each other, like they say in Bill and Ted's Excellent. Be excellent to each other, like they say in Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. And you'll find out that life and the world is a much different place if you're cool to everybody. I have two people in my life. I guess I could call them friends, but they're textbook SJW people. And they're the judgy ones. And everyone around them that doesn't have the same views or beliefs are very opening and more accepting. But they're the ones that are kind of like assholes in the room. So sometimes get off your crusade, get off your high horse, get off your board, out of my dreams into my car, and just talk to people and learn who they are and make a connection. It's really easy to be friends with people, be friendly with people. You know, just remove yourself from whatever internet crusade you're on. And I'm not talking to the people in the chat listening. I'm talking to the world out there for the one person that may hear this and go, huh, you know, a lot of these people, these crazy SJW people, once they get out of college into the real world, they have that transition where it's hard for them to exist because they don't have somebody to coddle them or warn them of triggers and all this other garbage. And then they grow up, and by the time they're 30, they realize, what the hell was I doing? It's like that, you know, Gauge phase where people are just like, it was cool when I was younger, but now I'm gonna, you know, take it out, let my ears close up, and get a regular job. People, the woke people, will eventually wake up, no pun intended, and they'll go forward and they'll realize that this was just a fad in their life, and entertainment suffered, and now they want to, you know, reclaim a sense of normalcy. No se me aguite pariente. Thank you very much for your $5 super chat. There's no message, but thank you very much. Please don't date SJW girl. Please, there are plenty of normal girls out there. Oh, no. She dates the other SJW guy. I'm not interested in her at all. I did have an interesting situation happen over the summer, but I'm not going to talk about it on air. If you ever meet me at a show, ask me about the feminist I hung out with when drinking. I'll tell you that story in person only, not on Patreon, not on here, but I will tell that story if you ever come meet me at a convention. And it's funny. It's really funny. Spark Demon, thank you very much again. How can they say that 7 through 9 is the ending of the Skywalker saga? They're not even about the Skywalkers. Arrgh. Well, Spark Demon, let me tell you, it's to get you in the theater because you loved Luke, you loved Leia, you loved Han, Lando, Chewie, all those people. You loved the shit from back when George Lucas made it back in the 70s and 80s. So it's a marketing tool to get you to come to the theater. Skywalker this, Skywalker that, blah, 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 blah. Buzzwords. Why the fuck is the Millennium Falcon in the movie still? It's Han Solo's ship. Chewbacca should be dead. It's so they can market you nostalgia. Chewbacca is the infinite marketing tool. The infinite nostalgia tool, along with C-3PO and R2-D2, and I won't say Yoda. Oh, you know, I should take C-3PO out too, because when somebody else voices him, it's not Anthony Daniels, it's not the same. But R2 and Chewbacca, you don't even need the same people. You know, R2-D2's a robot now, literally, or they CGI him in. The beeps and boops are fake sound effects. That's it. That's why those things are around. So that's why, Spark Demon, they say it's the ending of the Skywalker saga, because it's a way to get you to think, oh, I've been watching for so long, I need to watch this one now, and I need to give Disney my money. Grindlefan84, thank you very much again. They've forgotten that the world is different away from their computers and smartphones when they're around real people. Yeah, they are. They do forget that. And then I've never been unfortunate enough to be surrounded by a group of like crazy SJW people in person, but I'm thankful for that. I've only had to deal with one radical teacher, and I told her off in class. Like, I didn't say anything. I didn't call her any names, but I said how I think her opinion's misguided in the class. This was back in 2012, so it was a different world we lived in 6 years ago. But the class kind of agreed with me because she tried to say, if you're a feminist, if this, I'm like, I'm not a feminist, if that. I treat everybody the same. I don't want to be labeled. Don't label me this. That'd be like if people assume I listen to rap music just because of the way I look. It's like, no, I got a collection of music that's very eclectic. No country. I don't do country music. But don't marginalize me. Don't put me in that box. And people like that in college, they just need to stop doing that shit. Don't try to put people in a box. Let them be themselves. Yeah, safe spaces don't exist in the real world. You're damn right. Endless trash. Adam Shawhan, you asked me Sunday, and I'll tell you the whole story, man. I'll tell you over some beers. Grendel-fan84 says, I dated a feminist for a bit. Didn't take. Yeah, it's weird about how these people, like, I don't even really care. Like, if you believe what you want to believe, I'm not going to attack you. That's kind of antithetical to what I believe in. But my point is, don't try to change me. And I find it funny when you get older and you change your beliefs. You're like, I identify as this. You put yourself in this category and you are hardcore this. But then you realize that people don't want to be around you. And if you're more friendlier, people come around. People come around to you. So just, they'll wake up from that shit. Grendel fan, I bet you she's, not the same way anymore. Dante Reeves, thank you very much for your super chat. No message, but thank you very much anyway. Safe spaces are real. They're called water closets or bathrooms. Yeah. Yeah, you can go to the bathroom and you'll be very safe. It's funny. I'm in for a time when I come to Chicago. Well, you got to understand something. I'm not going to be going. Chicago is a different beast. We're going to Chicago to meet the people that like the channel, that are part of the Fandom Menace. No one's going to just outright come out and attack us about shit. It just is not how the real world works. They'll tell you stuff on the internet, but in reality, they're too lazy to make the trip because we're not an alt-right hate group. I mean, World Class Bullshitters has one white dude in it. We're 25% white. We would be against their beliefs if they tried to say we're these things because we're the most diverse podcast on the internet and we're all college educated. Like, what the fuck? Where's their argument? So even that, they don't have that. Is it safe? Oh, God, I love that. Kroger is a safe space, though. Kroger, you're not safe in Kroger. I've seen some shit. If I had a YouTube channel that didn't talk about entertainment but talked about everything, I would do a series called The Shit You See at Kroger. And I have at least a year's worth of content for that. Unless I'm the guy from the quartering, I should be safe. Yeah, Jeremy got popped. That was bullshit. I'm not worried about it. Like I said, people, I don't put my face on a lot of videos. It's funny how people are like, at 100K, are you going to do a face reveal? I'm like, sure, but there's pictures of me on the Facebook group through illustrations and real photos. What I look like is not hidden at all. So, we'll find out next year. It's going to be interesting. I really can't wait to get to next year. What is Kroger? Kroger is a grocery store chain based out of Cincinnati. They're everywhere. And that's where I found a lot of Rose Tico figures. That's where the Tower of Tico was filmed, in a Kroger. Yes, food. People of Kroger, a little less redneck than people at Walmart. That's true. I don't shop at my Walmart. I feel it's too dangerous to go in there. I'm not joking. I don't feel comfortable going in that Walmart because it is like a third world country. It's like a demilitarized zone. And for as big as a corporation as Walmart is, you'd think that they'd do something to clean up their store. But no, it's trash. Kroger is not as bad as Walmart, Dion. I've never once said that. But my Krogetto store is that bad. I saw a dude try to slit his own throat in there once. So, yeah, Walmart or Kroger's got some fucked up shit that goes on. Kroger sounds like a sci-fi character. Jeff, the wife is a GM of Kroger's. Oh, okay. Well, Adam, then you know what's up with Kroger. There are some great ones. There are some shitty ones. It just depends. My local Kroger, I don't know. I don't go to grocery shopping that much anymore. I don't want to deal with it. Walmart is a in real life battle royale game. Yeah, where I live, Kroger still is the main grocery store. So let's play a game, folks. Let's play a game. We're going to play an art game. I want you to tell me what movie poster this is. There we go. Figure it out. I'll wait. First person that wins gets a shout out. First person that gets it correct. Alpha Terranema, one thing about Chicago. First off, Dion has family that lives there. We know. I've been to Chicago tons of times. One of my closest college friends who I've talked about on the channel is like, he works for the city of Chicago, so he knows all the shit. Trust me, I'll have him as a guide. I should have bought him a ticket to the convention and told him that he's hanging out with me for 5 days, but I'll just get him to come in at night and hang out with us. He's a good dude. He knows all the pizza places. That's why we went on the Great Chicago Pizza Tour, because of him. All right, Karate Stick got it right away. This is supposed to be Goodfellas. This is terrible. This is terrible. This comes from a thing called the Museum of Port Art. It's one of my favorite Facebook pages. It makes me laugh. I love it. Don't worry, we're not getting rid of bad comic book art, but I thought today we'd change it up for just one day. So let's look at the next one now, because this one, can you tell me who this is supposed to be? Samantha Coppola. Muff Fellas? Yeah, that's Muff Fellas. Dirt Fellas. Yeah, Dirt Fellas is the official name of that piece of artwork now. No, it's not Ethan Van Sciver. Bridget Nielsen. Good callback, dude. I'm not seeing anybody that's getting it right. No, not Madonna. Not EVS as a lady. Not the Terminator. Not Dog the Bounty Hunter. You see why proper Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers. That's the best guess so far. Oh, not The Rock. Oh, Idris Elba, that's a good joke too. Good guess. Oh, Kenneth The Rock, I love Giordano. Somebody told me it's touristy, trashy pizza, but I love it. I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it. So we're going to tell you in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The correct answer is not Mundane Matt. It's ready? It's Katherine Heigl. This is supposed to be Katherine Heigl. It's not me, Cesaria Japan. That's not me. Sorry, guys. I don't have blonde hair or a peacock tattoo over my left side of my chest. Yes, this is Katherine Heigl, according to the thing, according to the website. Yeah. See, we're all having fun now. Now I got to pull up the worst ones each day. We'll do bad comic book art in this. Can you guess today's celebrity? How could I tell, Tags McGee? Well, it told me on the group that this is supposed to be Katherine Heigl. Yeah. Oh, she's not that pretty. God damn, Grim Carnage. That is a burn and a half. I don't think it has a horn strap on between its legs. I guess she's bored. Let's see. You guys ready for the final? Now, the final one is just funny. It's very easy who it is. I just wanted a good way to end this out. So, obviously, everyone's going to get this right away, but let's just have a good laugh. Hashtag not Katherine Heigl. Maybe. Hashtag maybe Katherine Heigl. Hashtag things more profitable than Disney Star Wars. Oh, yeah, this is easily who it is. You guys can guess it. But I just wanted to show it to you. My first guess was a potato. But then after I looked at it for a moment longer, I realized it's Derp Tyson. Hashtag not my Tyson. Not mine either. Not mine either. I'd love to have Mike Tyson on the show. He'd be a lot of fun. Balrog. Without the tattoo, it'd be tricky. Yeah, without the tattoo, that would be kind of hard. Tyson's lumpy buddy. Oh my god, yeah. So that is pretty ugly. Now, do we all love Princess Leia? Type in Muff if you love Princess Leia. I'll wait, because this next piece dishonors her legacy greatly. It dishonors her legacy. So the more muffs I see, I'll be showing, this next thing. We got one muff. All right. The muffs are rolling in. So we all love Princess Leia. Now check this out. What is wrong with this photo right here? Oh, wow. Okay. First off, John Tennant, thank you very much. Almost everyone I know in Shanghai and Beijing hates her and didn't go solo because of The Last Jedi. There was a talk show on TV by a Maoism professor about how The Last Jedi is the poster child of American cultural suicide. Ooh. Hey, John, would you mind doing me a favor and shooting me an email, worldclassbs@mail.com? If you're cool with it, I'd like to invite you on the channel to have this discussion with me, because this is the kind of stuff we don't hear about over here. But I'd really like to present that in an interview, to have you on and talk about that with the listeners, because that kind of stuff is, like I said, it's not what you hear about over here, but that's kind of eye-opening to see how that's perceived. American cultural suicide. I've heard the phrase, was it Baizu or Baizal? How they cite American left entertainment. And it, in many ways, it's bizarre yet refreshing to know that there are other people out there that see the direction of our entertainment and how stupid it is. So, John, thank you very much for all your super chats this morning. But I just wanted to know if you would like to join me, because that could be a lot of fun to have that discussion with you, because I can't have that with anybody else. So do we like the new Princess Leia costume from episode 9? I know that she's being repurposed from CGI and all this stuff, but still, I think she looks pretty good. And the funny part is, for me too, she's got like actual Star Wars accessories in the box. Leia has switched franchises. Maybe she has. I mean, they want more capable women in these roles. Why not? What the hell? Put her in army fatigues and let her go out and fight the good fight. This is a vintage Leia figure, all right. Yeah, it is. Vintage piece of shit. Commando Leia. She looks like a soldier from the Mummy Demastered. So are we cool with how Princess Leia is going to look? I don't want people going out there and spoiling it for the fans. Like, oh my God, look at the new Princess Leia costume. But I mean, if you do let it slip, there we go. Princess Leia, when she has to rush to that B point. Is that a Team Fortress joke or a Russian attack joke or whatever? Dwayne Johnson should play Leia. I agree. The Rock could play anyone. The Rock could play my grandma in a movie, and I'd be cool with that. If you're new to the chat this morning, good morning. Welcome to Good Morning Pop Culture. This is the new Princess Leia figure from Star Wars Episode 9, Attack of the Bullshit. Oh, Counter-Strike jokes. Okay. Isn't Counter-Strike made by the same people that made Team Fortress? Isn't that all Valve? Team Fortress 2, at least. I'm showing my cards. I'm not a PC gamer. Sorry, guys. The Rock with Leia's sideburns. Yeah, I've heard a rumor, could be false, that The Rock fashioned his sideburns after Princess Leia's. Just saying, guys. Oh, my God. So this has been a fun morning. I really do want to thank everyone who brought the Kelly Marie Tran article to my attention, because that just is everything wrong with entertainment in a nutshell. I just can't get behind that kind of thinking, the excuses that they make. Like someone said, I'm talking about a meritocracy. Yes, entertainment should be a meritocracy. You know, you make something that's successful, you have your copycats, but it's successful for a reason because there's something in that formula that you used that will work, that will resonate with people. Much like the Monster Squad ripped off the Goonies. Goonies reached a lot of people and spoke to a lot of people, and then the Monster Squad came in and tried to copy that similar formula, to a lesser degree, depending on who you are. But that's what I'm talking about. Stop trying to change people. Give people what they want, and you'll be successful. Half-Life 3 confirmed by Boogie29880 is his last words before he died. I haven't watched that guy in a while. Somebody posted over on our Facebook group, what are some other YouTube channels you watched before World Class Bullshitters? And I liked the question, and I was thinking about it, and I've talked about the newer stuff I watched. But a lot of the bigger YouTubers, I just never got into, not because I was trying to be hip and against them. I just never picked up on like the Francis character and stuff like that. I didn't hate it. I just didn't really watch it. Same with Angry Joe and a lot of those people. I just never watched a lot of the more gaming-centric people. For me, Angry Joe is the guy that tried to call out Jeff Keighley and got shut down. That's about as far as I know for Angry Joe. I haven't seen his movie reviews, but he's got a cool jacket, I guess. Question mark. Monster Squad is an amazing film. I love the Monster Squad. We're going to be watching that for Schlocktoberfest. I gotta write that script for this weekend. Shit. We're actually filming stuff this weekend for the channel. So just don't do anything this weekend. Watch, have your phones with you. And when we go live, you want to watch. I'm going to do my best to get Judge Reinhold on the channel. And it'll be great. What about Angry Video Game Nerd? I used to watch him religiously. I loved the Angry Video Game Nerd. He was fantastic. I'm trying to think what I watched him when he was every Wednesday, and he was one of the people that I wanted to be like and do YouTube stuff years ago, but I never did. I was busy with college, and then he slowed down, and I got into doing art, regularly, and just never happened. Angry Joe got called out by the quartering. I'll have to watch that video after this. I do like when you guys fill me in on the drama because at least I know about it. Then I can talk about it. Brandon Moist. Any watch parties this weekend? No, sir. This weekend we are at Horror Hound Live, so do not worry about a watch party from Horror Hound, but we will probably go live in the convention multiple times. So we'll tweet it out. Make sure you follow us on Twitter. Make sure you follow us on Facebook. Instagram, I guess. We have an Instagram page. Nobody really pays attention to it. My point is just make sure you're following us to get all the updates because we'll be going live a lot. We'll be taking photos. I'll be showing you where to find us at the convention with the giant World Class Bullshitters banner. The Rotten Tomatoes will be remembered for The Last Jedi at 91% and Batman 89 at 72%. Ew. No, thank you. No, thank you. Batman 89 is so much better than The Last Jedi. Like I told you guys, the shill critics were bought and paid for with that film. Omar Pumier says, Hollyweird bought into the idea that they can shape culture instead of the reality or vice versa. Let me reread that, sorry. Hollyweird bought into the idea that they can shape culture instead of the reality of vice versa. Yeah, Hollywood, the people in power have become tyrannical. Let's just get into that right now. These actors think their voices and opinions matter. You are literally paid to be someone else. Like Glenn Close said, you're an actor. You can play other roles. You don't need to have a transgender actor to play a transgender character. You act. Glenn Close plays men. Mary Martin, I think was her name, used to play Peter Pan. It doesn't matter. I went to it. My cousin's daughter is like 12, and we went to her grade school play. It was a performance of Peter Pan or something. It was like Peter Pan Part 2. I don't know stories. My point is, though, she went to this play, and a girl played Captain Hook and Peter Pan, like two different girls, and they were good. You're acting. You can be different things. Look at Monty Python. All the times they were in drag, it was funny. Act. Be fake. Be fictional. But don't expect me to take your word for everything if you're known as a faker. And a lot of actors are dumb. There are smart actors. Look at some of the Monty Python guys. I consider John Cleese a pretty sharp dude. So I'll listen to something he would say as opposed to I don't know. Who's an actor that's pretty dumb? Adam Sandler. maybe. Or I'll look at somebody like a Cal Penn. Maybe I don't agree with him politically, but the dude is a little smarter than your average bear. So certain people, yes, but overall, actors just need to be quiet, and Hollywood needs to realize that culture is different outside in the real world. You go to Hollywood, it's just a bubble, and they think that because they produce their movies in that bubble, that the real world will be receptive to them and want to be a part of that bubble. But that shit's about to pop because their movies they're failing. You know, when you put this weird shit into your movies, people aren't going. So thank you, Omar. John Tennant says, Tico is a token minority POS. He said that this is how the USA views us, as SJW hold all cultural power. And they are examples of what China doesn't want to return to, Maoism. F her for killing a Star Wars hero. Okay. It's interesting to hear these. Why is my Google search? I guess I bumped Google search on my phone, and it says, Johnson says that Chico's a token minority. It basically picked up what I said on my phone. That's kind of creepy. Yeah, Disney's the one that made you a marginalized minority in Star Wars, Kelly. Don't be pissed off at us. That's all I can keep saying. It's interesting for all the wrong reasons. And it's also interesting that we have to have these discussions with Star Wars. Before it was, hey, what's your favorite lightsaber duel? Hey, Luke is awesome. Hey, the Death Star trench run, which is better, that one or when they blew up the Death Star in Return of the Jedi? Those things. Or you could talk about the spiritual aspect of the Force. What does it mean to you? How's the Force a religion? Stuff like that. But now we actually have to have discussions about how Star Wars is a representation of the worst parts of culture and how the world hates it. And our favorite brand will die because of a bunch of assholes. Let's see. Big Brother is listening. Yeah, and everything I say is being listened to. So I don't like it, but you got to accept it. So I don't really say much to my phone, Bucky phone. John Lance, thank you very much, was watching Beetlejuice on IFC 2 days ago. Supposedly this led to Tim Burton and Michael Keaton doing Batman. That sound about right? That's what I heard. Based on my recollection, they took Beetlejuice as if Beetlejuice was a hit, Tim Burton could do Batman. And Beetlejuice was a hit, and then, Batman came out. Batman's interesting, too. I know a lot of people dislike it because they think it's dated or whatever, but Batman is important in two ways. Batman is probably one of the last blockbusters to do the traditional effects, they didn't do stop motion, but they did animation, they did miniatures, all kinds of stuff. It was the pre-CGI, because there's some CGI in Batman Returns. It was also the first film post Star Wars to be marketed the way it was. In many ways, it was the next big blockbuster, like after Star Wars, because you had your Indiana Jones and Back to the Future and stuff came out and stuff made more money, but it didn't have it wasn't marketed that way. It didn't have the toys, the license, the haircut, the poster, this, that, and the other. Batman 89 was a marketing juggernaut that you hadn't seen since Star Wars. And Star Wars did it after the movie came out. Because it came out and no one really knew about it, and then it took off and had years and years of longevity. Batman 89 had that shit out first. And there are news articles, there's news videos about this that confirms this. Also, I believe, this isn't confirmed, I have to go back and check out my facts, but I believe Batman was the fastest theatrical to home video release of its time. Like, it came out in June of 89 and it was available for Christmas. And I think it was also one of the first VHSs of that caliber priced to own right away. It didn't do the marketing of the rental market. It was like priced at like $20 to own at Christmas of 1989 to get it in your home. It's also interesting too for Batman 89 because now I saw an article that's bullshit that said there was no toy line. Actually, there was, from Toy Biz, the people that made all the Marvel toys when we were all kids in the 90s. They had a Batman 89 line with Batman, Joker, Bob the Goon, a few vehicles. Then in 1990, Kenner came in and basically redid the Batman line with new figures, new vehicles, new all this. So it's like the only movie that has two toy lines that were essentially available at the same time. Like, I was able to find the Kenner and the Toy Biz stuff at the same time in the stores. So that's a little fun fact there. But my God, I love Beetlejuice. King Eric the 15th, thank you very much. Hi, Jeff. Would really appreciate. Sorry. Hi, Jeff. Would really appreciate learning anything I could from you about drawing. Just started drawing readable comics for the game I'm working on. I'd love to help you guys out. Like I said, the Indiegogo is going to be coming out sooner than you guys realize, so I'm going to be focused on that. But I think I'm going to, put out a couple videos. I have some tips that I could give you. I mean, story is important. Sometimes you can get away with less is more. Here's a quick thing. If you're doing a comic, so it says your readable comics. First off, make sure that your panels, if you're starting out and you're new to it, make sure your panels are a little more simplistic. Don't overdo style over substance in terms of storytelling. If you can tell a straightforward story, there you go. Play up to your strengths, not your weaknesses. Work on your weaknesses behind the scenes, but accentuate what you're good at right now. So if you're good at drawing, if it's a superhero story and you're great at drawing superhero anatomy, draw big, powerful panels of superheroes that do tell the story. And if you can't draw cars, well, don't draw a car, or draw it really small, or put it in the background. Don't put shit that you're like, if you're in control of the story as well, just draw stuff you're not, you're good at in the beginning, and then build up behind the scenes. That way, if you're putting something out there, people will just look at it and see a nice product. So like for me, I've taken years to learn how to draw a lot of stuff. Like before, I couldn't draw women. Now, if you follow my Instagram, it's basically what I draw all the time. Well, used to, because I told myself I wanted to get better at it. So I doubled down and made sure that I got better at that, at anatomy. And I got it. So I can draw, bodies and all kinds of different poses and backgrounds. I learned all that shit. 1 point, 2 point, 3 point perspective, all that stuff. So King Eric, make sure you know your basic perspectives in figure drawing, and you can get away with whatever you're starting out with. And if you're drawing creatures and stuff, make sure you use reference material. Ethan does. I do. Everyone uses reference material. Artist back Steve Ditko. There's like 5 photos of Steve Ditko available. One of them is him at his desk drinking a cup of coffee on the phone, and in the background there's just stacks of anatomy reference. So don't ever worry about looking at stuff. You don't have to remember everything. If you want to look at like how your hand contours, hold up your hand, or look at a picture of a hand, or do something like that. So that's my advice to get yourself and warm up to before you start drawing. Like, I don't know if a lot of people do this, but every day before I draw, I warm up. I do this like weird exercise with my hand to get my wrist loosened up, and then I go from there. Get my mind in the right mindset, and then I get to work. So King Eric, feel free, anyone that has questions about comic stuff, feel free to ask me. I know Stealing Solo is going to be giant, and I want everyone to experience it, but I will be able to help you guys along the way if you have comic questions of your own. And like Curtis does, feel free to share your artwork over on our Facebook page. Draw us. I'd love to have you guys. Like Curtis's artwork is so good that it's now our group photo on the World Class Bullshitters fan page. So if you go over there, you'll see the logo World Class Bullshitters, but you'll see Curtis's artwork, because that dude is awesome. And we appreciate everyone that sends in fan art. The first person to ever send in World Class Bullshitters fan art was Augs for President, way back like 2 years ago, when we only had like 1,000 subscribers. But he is a younger listener, and he's a super fan, and he drew a picture of me in sunglasses and a Spider-Man costume. So thank you, Augs. And he had the likeness down too. He's a good artist. He's a very good artist. So just, King Eric, just ask me, man. I'll gladly help you guys. Make a weird hand exercises video to show her down the road. I'm missing the super chat you posted, says King Eric. I just read your super chat about art. Did I miss? King Eric, let me know if I missed another one. I just read your one about art, dude. So I'll have to go back and look in just a moment. What software did you use for drawing with the tablet? I started dicking around with black ink after getting it on Steam sale. I use a thing called Manga Studio Pro. It's an older program I bought like in 2000 bought it in 2012. It came out in like 08. So it's an 10-year-old program, but I only use it for the pencil and inking. And then I after Stealing Solo comes out, make some money, I am going to upgrade my whole drawing system, and I'll do some more artwork, for fun. We'll do more Indiegogos. I really want this one to become a movie. That's my ultimate goal. The story is really unique, and we got to get it before Harrison Ford, gets too old and does die. So I would love to have this comic be like his last thing he did, and then he retires and, goes off and lives his life. But I use Manga Studio Pro. Jack Kirby never used reference, and we wish he did. Yeah, sometimes he needed to use reference. As he got older, his art got a little rougher. I respect the shit out of the man, and his early stuff is incredible. But I guess, you get older and, just don't want to do it as much. You've been doing it your whole time. Oh, okay. I'll go back and read that super chat, King Eric. Just give me a second then. So, like I said, guys, if you need help with anything, or you just want, to talk about your art, let me know. I make time for you guys all the time. We'll talk about it on Good Morning Pop Culture. Maybe we'll do a little segment while we're on the air. Let's see, events. Here we are. Okay. Wow. I love how the image for this video, according to YouTube, is that Goodfellas thing. That pisses me off. I don't want to be known for the Goodfellas image. I'll have to go back and edit that after we go off the air. Let's see. King Eric, where you at, man? Let's see. Control F. According to this, which is the window for all the super chats, it just said you only sent in the I would appreciate learning anything I could about art. I'm looking at every one we received this morning. And yeah, that's the only one that popped up, dude. Like I said, I'm right here in the window. I'm not even typing King. King Eric. Speaking. King Eric working. Yeah, man. Sorry, I'm in the thing right now, looking at it. That's the only two that said it popped up from you. I wouldn't lie to you guys. Can I get an afro wig and make it a Bob Ross segment? Happy little tree guy. Of course I know who Bob Ross is. I could just not get a haircut for like 2 or 3 years and grow one myself. Nah. I've done that once. It sucked. It was so hot. You guys joke about Jeremy hair. Our hair is quite similar. But at least I got it. That's all I can say. I have one friend who went bald in the 8th grade, and that must have sucked. Mike Zero just confirmed that it was leaked that the Rose Tico is a reborn Emperor Palpatine. Well, if Mike Zero says it has to be true, right? Right? Or Star Wars content. I don't watch his videos. I'm not here to knock him or make fun of him, but I just don't have I don't watch him. But she's not the Senate. Jeremy is secretly Justin Timberlake. Oh my god, he wishes. Shit, I wish he was secretly Justin Timberlake, because then he'd be so famous. He'd be like, hey guys, watch the High Council. 20 million people watch live streams. Holy shit. Talk about you guys wouldn't even have a chance if 20 million people were watching. Holy shit. EVS wants to be Mike's friend so bad. Hey, EVS is a fun dude to be friends with. I can't wait to hang out with him. We're gonna have some beer and talk about comics and his stuff. Any comment on Angry Joe? I don't know the situation, Gavin. If you guys want to tell me what's going on, we're at getting close to the end of the show. So if you guys want to let me know what's going on with Angry Joe, based, a little paragraph, we'll talk. I can elaborate about it more tonight. Eric actually sent a super chat about asking ways to learn to draw for a game he's making. Maybe you already discussed it and he didn't notice. Yeah, I just read that one. I read it twice. I don't mind. I'm just saying, but I did read that 100% positively, because I said I'd love to help you out when I went into a little drawing spiel. So I did read that on air 100%. You want to hang out with us, Billy Ritchie? We want to hang out with you too. I mean it. There's a couple local Cincinnati listeners that want to hang out. I'll get a group meetup, and we'll make that happen before the end of the year. But yeah, Chicago really is your first place to hang out with the High Council, because we're in different parts of the country. But we'll be there, and we want as many people to be there and hang out. It's not really going to be like when I go to the Star Wars convention, I'm not really worried about seeing everything, because they're not going to be. I'll go look at the toys at the Hasbro booth, and that's about it. I'm not too focused on the show. To me, it's just an experience to hang out with you guys. So, even if you can't make it into the show, but you want to come to Chicago to hang out, there will be plenty of time for that to happen. It's not all about the convention for me. It's kind of about, community building, like the first Fandom Menace meetup. If I ever meet you in person, Jeff, can I give you a bear hug? Sure. No problem. I'm a huggable person, I guess. I don't know. I always smell good, so don't worry. It won't be like, oh, I'm gonna give you a hug. Oh, you reek. No. Go ahead. Cincy meetup at Waffle House. Yeah, sure. I'll buy the first round of waffles. Have I heard that Star Trek 4 is falling apart? Jeremy. My name's Jeff Tristan. That's okay though. No, I did hear it's falling apart. I got to watch the Midnight's Edge video. They've been returning to form. I'll give them credit. They're back, and I'm gonna watch their content a lot. Like I told you guys before, their stuff on Ghostbusters and the Sony email leak. Those were the best produced videos about the topic. Xavier says, AJ Angry Joe's been shitting on his fans a lot. He's been calling people not liking Battlefield 5 MAGA supporters. His channel making videos, conservatives, and in general having a meltdown. See, this is the biggest problem with YouTubers. Don't let your ego get the best of you. That is why you fail. That is why Mundane Matt is falling apart. That is why Channel Awesome has fallen apart. But that's why other people can continue to do well, because they're not having a meltdown. Look at, we disagree about a lot of stuff. I guarantee you not any of you that listen to this show agree 100% with me about everything. But I'm cool with that. I don't want you to agree with everything because it makes it less interesting to discuss and hang out and talk. Angry Joe getting pissy about, people not liking Battlefield 5 and calling them MAGA supporters. Dude, you fucked up. You're on the wrong side of history. I'm not supporting the game, and it's not because of some anger towards women. I just don't buy fucking Battlefield. Therefore, I won't support it. So where are you lumping me in? Not a gamer that's going to go out and buy every update of a fucked up first-person shooter. You're going to try to turn it political on me? Please do. I don't care. But it's not going to work. You're going to be on the losing side if you attack your fans. If he was going through some kind of controversy, but he kept it, clean with his fans, he'd have a lot more support to back him up. But you're going to piss people off. That's why we don't get overly political here, because you can't win. We don't talk about politics, and we don't really get into religion, because those are two topics that people are just invested in, and it's not relevant to what we do here. So Angry Joe, you do what you got to do, man. You run your channel the way you run it. I'm not here to tell you what to do, but him just, getting into that kind of shit just doesn't sound smart. Not sound smart at all. Too bad y'all don't visit South Carolina. I'd love to hang out one day. Well, we're really growing. I told you guys over on the Patreon, once we hit our goal, I'm going to do a quarterly convention. So every 4 months, we'll do a different show. And that, if we hit that goal, we'll start that with Star Wars Celebration, and we'll do, like maybe the Cincinnati Comic Expo, and then we'll do like WonderCon or something. We'll figure out how much it costs to do these shows, and then we'll appear. And those are big shows that a lot of people would come and hang out and talk to us. Let's see. Angry Joe is not an SJW. I never claimed him to be an SJW. I just don't. I don't know. I know of him, obviously. You can't not know of him. He's got millions of subscribers. He was a big deal. I don't do a lot of gaming content because I don't do a lot of gaming in I played Mortal Kombat for 10 minutes Sunday. That was about it. I think Angry Joe just made a video that pissed people off rather than being a dyed-in-the-wall SJW. I guess. I don't know. I don't really worry about the politics of him. We should have a bullshitter con. I like that idea. Dio Brando, let's make that happen for 2022. When you're defending a rickety narrative, you can't allow a dissenting opinion. Yeah, that's a good point. Is King Eric telling me I didn't read it? I definitely read it, man. I'm sorry. Even Xavier is saying I read it. Oh, let's see. Got to play for a whole 10 minutes. Lucky, I know, right? 10 minutes of a video game. Whew. You're going to Mexico, John. Well, have fun and be safe, and send some pictures. It's funny how it seems like that's going to be That's how a YouTuber can just get out of it. Like they're tired of it, so they just attack the fans, and then their numbers drop, and then they just leave. That's how they do it. Gola or Joel says, I think Joe is losing his way. It's from hanging out with all those big game developers at those conventions. Yeah, I guess the rule of thumb is don't forget where you came from, man. Just don't. Yeah, don't drink the water. Yeah, kind of hard to take Joe serious when Jeff the Doritos Pope schools him. That's the Angry Joe video that I most associate with him. Like, even though not a positive one, that's what I think of when I think of Angry Joe. Just that. I looked into the criticism behind Battlefield 5. Anyone claiming sexism on the fans is a misogynist is dead wrong. Yeah, you don't. It's not the fans' fault. That game's going to fail because you can't guilt these people into spending money. The people you always target don't spend the money. Look at our friend John Tenet. He was talking about how they're trying to, in America, use this cultural shit to guilt us into liking the Last Jedi, and other parts of the world are shitting on it. Here in America, with the Battlefield controversy, you're not going to make your money because the people that you're trying to kowtow and cater to, like, what's his name? Eric. What was the guy's name that quit EA? That dude was like, I want to make a game for my daughter. Well, you know what? I hope your daughter buys $1 billion worth of copies because it's the only way your stupid idea is going to make a bunch of money. Matthew Lynch says, have you seen Mundane's Matt Lee's video? I think he's coming out as gay. I have not. I have not watched any of the... I'm not watching any of the Mundane Matt content. Like I said last week, guys, we said our piece with him. He lied to us. It's over. He's done with. People have tweeted us like pictures of his numbers and stuff like that. I don't even run the Twitter, but it'll be brought to my attention. And that's about it. I haven't watched his newest content. So he's got to do what makes him happy, and he's got to live the life he wants to live. No judgment on my end. Nicholas Giordina, thank you very much. Hey, Jeff, have you heard of the Star Wars Edge of the Empire? It's an RPG tabletop game that has all the best stuff from Legends. I recommend checking it out. I have not heard of Star Wars Edge of the Empire. Now, I've seen Star Wars the X-Wing one where you get the little ships because the gentleman, Brian Callahan, tried to get me into it. And I just, tabletop gaming, I never understood it. I'm sure if I actually paid attention for 5 minutes, I'd get it, no problem. But I never got into it. As a kid, we did board games like Candyland and Monopoly. And then I got into video games. And then I don't do the trading cards. Like I told you guys before, I have all the original Pokemon cards. Never played a single hand in my life. So I was even in Pokemon League. What I would do at Pokemon League, I'd go get my badge and I'd walk around for Toys R Us for like 2 hours. That's why I have a giant scar on my leg from an injury at Toys R Us. I'll tell that story another day. But I have not heard of Star Wars Edge of the Empire. I'll have to check it out. Let me write it down on my list because maybe if I'm at my local comic book store, I can check that out. I bet you Grendel fan from Comics Elite, they have that game. Let's see. Soderlin. Okay, that was the guy's name. Thank you. Using your own daughter as a tool in order to further a narrative is pretty disgusting. I agree. There are enough YouTubers covering. I like you guys for moving on. Just wait till he shoots himself in the foot big time again. Well, we'll be here like you guys to see it. So thank you for that. I appreciate all the support everybody has been giving us. Anthony Mata, thank you very much for your super chat. Is that Lego Aston Martin worth a buy? Because that thing is calling to me. I can't stop thinking about it. Well, Anthony, mine's in the box. So if you're a Lego builder, go for it, man. But I like James Bond. I don't dislike Lego, but it's just not something I'm into. I don't have the emotional attachment. So I don't really build Lego sets. I built 2. The Spider-Man from the first movie and then a Batman one that I got as a gift. So it's here in my office, the James Bond Lego set. It's just sitting there. So if you really want it, go for it. It's got all kinds of cool features and it looks great. If you build it, post it on our Facebook page. We got a guy that builds and does custom models, and he posts them over on our Facebook page. I actually considered, because he does the painting, and the painting's spectacular. It looks like studio quality models. I had a thought, should I send him a Millennium Falcon and commission him to paint a Millennium Falcon model for me? But then I thought, I don't have space for it right now. So when I move, then I'll do it. But yeah, Anthony, check it out, man. If you're going to build it for fun, it looks cool, and it's got gadgets and shit. So go for it. Insanity Methods, thank you very much. Hey, Jeff, have you seen the James Bond 10p coins? Was it 10 pence? I have not. Let me look those up. Ooh, I got a comment from Mahler on one of my videos. James Bond coin. Wait, they're only... How much are these things? Because these look awesome. Okay, I guess I'm going to have to buy some. Thank you, Insanity Methods. I have to have these now. Damn it. See, people, don't tell me about James Bond merchandise, because I'll go buy it. No matter what it is, I'll go buy the damn thing. Sorry, I was just reading Mahler's comment on the video. Somebody brought his name up. Mahler's awesome. Let's see. Speaking of Star Wars, I'm currently working on a universe inspired by the franchise. I'm 20 chapters into a novel to set it up in it. Would you be interested in giving it a look? Right now, I don't have the time to read any of that stuff, but down the road we can help you. Just right now, I can't. Wait, that James Bond Aston Martin went to $224? Eesh. Time to make Jeff overspend. Do I own a Walther PPK? Not a real one. I don't own a real one. I have I have two BB guns of it. I have a broken one, and I have a one that works with a silencer. But the other one has the orange tip, and the first one doesn't. So it looks pretty cool. I have a Walther P99 one as well. Would I buy a James Bond toilet seat? Yes, I would. I would buy it, and I would hang it up on my wall because I'll never shit on it. The name is Bond, Muff Bond, licensed to eat. I like it. I like it. James Bond branded condoms. Oh my god. There we go. I found out they had wrestling condoms the other day on a podcast I listened to, and I was like, damn. Do I buy a pack of Stone Cold Steve Austin Lifestyles? I mean, they're probably dried out by now, but still, would be fun. Rank my Bonds from best to worst. Like actors, Connery and Brosnan are tied, and then I like Lazenby and Dalton are tied, and then Roger Moore, and then Daniel Craig. Comicsgate live stream was so good yesterday. High Council gets better and better. You damn right. No say me aguite pariente. Wait till I'm going to be throwing my hat into the Comicsgate arena soon, guys. Real soon. Any guests on the High Council this week? As of now, nothing that I know of. See you, Brian, at Horror Hound. I'm looking forward to it. I hope that we're not too hungover on Sunday morning. No, King Eric, I did not miss your super chat, man. I went back and checked it out for you, but I appreciate it. Like I said, anything you need to help with art, just let me know. Jeff, say one nice thing about License to Kill. My mom loves that movie, and she took me as a kid to see it in the theater. This was my first James Bond movie as a kid. Okay, nice things to say about License to Kill. It's got a great gun barrel music. The opening with the helicopter, or the airplane scene is pretty epic. What else is good? It's gritty at times. I wouldn't put it as the worst Bond movie. I just don't like it. So there we go. It's got a good opening, a very good opening. And I thought the scene where Sanchez escapes the truck on that bridge in the Florida Keys was pretty cool too. The High Council is high class. Thank you, Pete. I love the High Council. We say, oh, we love Tuesdays. It's so fun. No, Tuesdays is fun because you get to sit down. Well, I get to sit down with Ethan and Jeremy, and we get to shoot the shit and discuss a lot of stuff. So I'm excited for every Tuesday. Do I think Kathleen Kennedy's seen any of my videos? Probably. I'm not trying to act like we're the most important YouTube channel in the world, just, in America. Honestly, though, with the numbers on some of the Kathleen Kennedy videos, she has to. She has to be one of the 1,050,000 people that has seen the video. I'm not trying to be funny, but I would guess that for sure. Yeah, a lot of people are loving the High Council. Oh, we love you guys back. There's just so much to talk about. Thank you, Perth Comics. Thank you. I love how there's a Good Morning Pop Culture that's 3 minutes and 32 seconds long on there. Oh, Tim, you have to miss most of the High Council. Well, know that it's on this channel tonight, and that'll be waiting for you after you get off work. Maybe she's watching right now. Hello, Kathleen. Welcome back to the show. It's like, what, 6:58 in the morning. She's probably, getting her face done up or taped or something. I don't know what she does. She's there. Who would win in an arm wrestling match, Jeremy or Ethan? Probably Ethan, because he's got, he eats all that pie, and you do get sugar rushes. So instead of I take pre-workout, he probably just eats a whole pie, and then boom, there we go. Jeremy goes down for the count. That was a fake broadcast from Jeff's robot doppelganger. All right, we'll go with that. I have a robot doppelganger who took over the show, but because of the fans, we were able to stop him dead in his tracks, so he'll never come back again. Imagine if PewDiePie came on your channel. I recall him hating The Last Jedi. God damn, I'd love to have PewDiePie on this channel. So many people would know who we are. I mean, anything's possible, man. Anything's possible. People be like, oh, your YouTube channel, that's a cute idea. Now we're zeroing in on 100,000 subscribers. I mean, really, if you work at it, you can make anything happen. Let's see who else we have. Pie Power. Oh, yeah, and I rewatch what I miss. Still like to watch live. Yeah, Tim, I understand. Nothing beats a live High Council. Nothing beats a live Good Morning Pop Culture. Watch them live and then watch the daily videos, and we'll do all of that. Yeah, well, we don't really go out of our way to say anything against Disney that would get us banned. We don't lie. We don't make accusations. We world-class bullshitters take stuff based off of, sources and comments on it. So, and I don't put any kind of stuff in there. So I'm not really worried about it. Evil robot Jeff is named Fej. Okay. Fej the evil robot. Mecha Jeff and Robo Kenda. Now we just need Metal Nick and Cyber Dion. He's got horse DNA. We already have an evil doppelganger, Cecil. Thank you. Jeff, promise me you won't cry when you get that silver play button. I'm going to guarantee you that I'm not going to cry when I get my silver play button. Come on, I mean, that's an edited video. Why would you cry? Let's see, press the button. Markiplier sometimes shows up on small channels. I should see if Markiplier would show up, because he's from Cincinnati. We went to the same college. Could come help us out. I would really appreciate that. Ooh, or JonTron. JonTron, man. Whatever. When was his last video? That's a YouTuber. When he puts out a video, I watch it instantly because they're so fucking funny. Midnight Cherry TV. Work got crazy and had YouTube burnout. Missed you. I missed you too, Midnight Cherry TV, and I missed all your talk about Mystery Men. No, I promise I won't do a 100,000 crying video. Maybe I'll do something really epic, though. Dio Brando says, hey, Jeff, look up Moist Horse and tell me when you see it. Okay. I'll do this on, not on the stream. I'll do this on a different thing. Let's see. Moist Horse. Let's see what pops up. Well, let's see. Oh, yeah, I've seen that. The red and yellow horse. I've seen that before. That's hilarious. I wish somebody would dress up as a horse and come to a horror hound. God, imagine the fear in my best friend's eyes. Alec Munoz, thank you very much. I listen to you every morning on my run. Thanks for giving me my pop culture fix this morning. Congrats on the 70K. Alec, thank you very much for those nice words. And thank you for listening every morning on your run. I'm not a runner, but I'm glad you listen to me in the mornings to help you get through your day. That's crazy to think, though, that people are out there exercising and doing shit, and I'm just here working in my office, making a difference. Even Kevin Smith would be a good guest. I disagree with a lot of what he says these days, but back in the day, he was demand. I would have Kevin Smith on the channel in a heartbeat. Here's the thing: if you go back and listen to what I actually say in the shill video about Kevin Smith, I never once attack him as a person, and you'd probably agree with 90% of what I say. Maybe not on air, but behind the scenes, I feel like we would be pretty simpatico. And to have a guest on the show isn't selling out. It's just to help expand the channel. So, I mean, if there is a celebrity that you guys really want to see, and we can get like a poll going, like, who do you want to see on the show? And we all concentrate our efforts to get said celebrity on the show. We can make it happen with social media and the internet. We can reach all kinds of people. So we just got to do it properly and not harass. People will fuck it up, but on the whole, if we do it the right way, we can make it happen. Billy Ritchie, I'll come on a horse with a busty white girl. Thank you, Billy Ritchie. You're a true friend. JSP, thank you very much. I just shared an entertaining photo on your Facebook page pertaining to Monster Squad. Oh, okay. Let me check that out right now. Monster Squad. Damn, my phone's almost dead. I kind of should have charged this whole show. Especially if I'm going to go try and get George Lucas and Harrison Ford. Oh, my God. We'll get Harrison Ford to come on the channel after we launch the Indiegogo, and he agrees to be in the movie. I cannot wait. It'll be the best Star Wars parody in a long time. So let's see. Who sent that? That was from JSP. I can figure out your initials and your name. And let's see. Oh, neat. You went to a screening with the people from the movie. Oh, cool. JSP, who was the nicest one? I'm just curious, who was your favorite that you met? They all look so happy. I love that they're all giving the middle finger. I wish Horace was there. My name is Horace. By the way, I don't know if you know this, JSP, but the kid that was the bully that made him step on the candy bar and then had to eat it, his name is Jason Hervey. He would go on to be a big movie producer or a big TV show producer, and he has his own production company with this guy named Eric Bischoff. So he may not be in much. I know he's in like the Wonder Years and shit, but he went on to have a pretty good career as an adult. And also known for Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Michael Rodriguez, thank you very much for your very generous super chat. Would love JonTron on the High Council / World Class Bullshitters. The internet would go mad. Just hope he puts out more video game content once he starts up again. He always talked about doing something new and different. I would love to have JonTron on. That dude, I'm not just singing his praise because I want him to come on the show. Dan and I will get drunk and watch JonTron at Phil's house, and we laugh. Like the flex tape was hilarious. I love the bird. I actually drew a JonTron print. Give me a second. Let's see if it's on my my old thing, my old profile, because I'll look that up right now. That could be a lot of fun. Let's see. Did I upload that? I don't know. No, I did not upload my JonTron print online. Got a lot of old artwork on this server thing, but no JonTron. I got JonTron and Markiplier, so those are a lot of fun. I'll show those one of these days. But yeah, I'd love to get him on the show. I feel like we have a good time with him. Personalities would mesh well. May not have the subscriber count that he does, but I definitely got just as rabid of a fan base, and I think he'd be pretty simpatico. Rich Evans, he would be entertaining too. I'll reach out. I can start. That's where I would like to take like a stream like this, like a weekly celebrity guest type of thing where I can line it up. I love doing it with other YouTubers now. I'm not discrediting, Dishonored War for Maul or anybody like that. Pat from Please Rewind that'll come on in the future again. Those are great. Those won't go away. But I would definitely love to get, big people to just, come on and hang out and talk. Insanity Methods, thank you very much. You could possibly get Critical on for the podcast. Who's Critical? Let me look who that person up. Because I'm all about Critical Moist Meter. Is that Penguin Zero? Is that who it is? I mean, I'm open to whoever. If enough people vote on it and they reach out, they're on the show. But like that. Even that candy ass Ryan Johnson. That'd be hilarious if he showed up on the channel. Party Almsavi, thank you very much. John Tron would be so legit. Jeremy really need to set up his talk with Sargon Senpai, though. That'll be huge. That'll be I'll be watching that one. So there you go. Get Samuel L. Jackson on the show. I'd love to get Samuel L. Jackson on the show. I saw something about Mick Foley. If Mick Foley is healthy enough, he's a great interview guy. Get him. Yeah, Mick Foley would be incredible. Mick Foley, because I'm a wrestling fan, I know his history, his backstory, and that could be crazy. Reach out to Philip DeFranco. Nick loves Philip DeFranco. That'd be crazy to get him on. Mark Hamill. Yeah, like Mark Hamill would show up. I bet you if he wasn't in Star Wars Episode 9 and was out of his contract with Disney Lucasfilm, he would come on the show and tell us all kinds of juicy bits. But right now, no, he would never do that. But I can ask. No, Ryan Johnson would not come on the channel and talk, ever. He would act like we don't exist. Get Tommy Wiseau. Oh my God, I'd love that. Let's see. So it's looking like we're getting ready to close out this episode. So, folks, thank you for another successful Good Morning Pop Culture. I've had an incredible day. Yeah, it started out stupid with my robot doppelganger Fej trying to take over the channel, but that won't happen again because I'm going to beat that robo bitch into submission. EVS got Booker T and I didn't. I didn't even try to get Booker T. I mean, does that mean I have to go out and try to get The Rock because The Rock is the better version of Booker T? Or should I say Booker T is the camera version of The Rock? I mean, Booker T has the bookend. The Rock has the rock bottom. If you smell what the book is cooking, no thank you. We only smell what The Rock is cooking here on this channel, jabroni. So you smell that? Yeah, all you smell is that bullshit, that world-class bullshit. So, we're going to be at Horror Hound. We'll get some people. We'll talk to some people. I would love to try to get Bruce Campbell, but can't make any promises just yet. So, folks, thank you, Peter Laoli. I appreciate that. Everyone's having a good time. I'll see you guys tonight. You too, Kamikaze Johnson. Remember, folks, tonight is the High Council here on World Class Bullshitters. I'll make sure I let you guys know plenty of time, so set your reminders. Keep your calendars open. If you're going to listen to us while you play a video game or just watch the entire stream yourself, make sure that you're here at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the High Council. We got tons of shit to talk about. We're going to talk about that soy-filled article from Kelly Marie Tran. We'll talk about the resistance stuff, and you'll get a big, big surprise. So, folks, come back tonight for the High Council, and I'd like to thank everyone who's watching. Horror Hound is a convention, Warren Filbert. It's basically like a comic convention, but it's for horror, and the audience, the fan base that goes is a little older. They're more relaxed about drinking. So it's like when you go to a convention, it's a bunch of anime kids and stuff that you don't want to deal with. Horror Hound, a bunch of people that are there to drink and hang out and party. And I figure it's a good demographic for world-class bullshitters. So see you guys later, and catch you next time.